we've come to where the kingship began. We are going to start from Saul. We have a representative of Saul. From there, we'll go to Solomon. We come to David and the rest. I'm pretty sure things will go right. All right, thank you. All right, please, let's have Kwapa Kwegu as you start for us.
All right. Thank you very much, Papa. So I'm making a presentation on Saul. So let's look at some few things. Please hang on a second. I'm having a few of challenge here. I can. I'm having a few of a technical challenge. What's happening?
Yeah, are you going? Go ahead. If you want to scroll, press on the hit it hard and go down. Hit it hard. Put a cursor on it. Hit it hard and then you go down. Yeah. You press enter and then you go. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So people of God, we are trying to look at a few things about Saul, King Saul. So we try to look at how Saul became a king over Israel. So it all happened when Saul went out in a search for his father's missing donkey. So in the course of the search, he chanced to meet a man of God called Samuel, whom the Lord had already revealed to him about the coming of Saul, and asked Samuel to anoint Saul as a king over his people, that is Israel. And this can be seen from 1 Samuel 9:15 to 17. We can find this there. Now, let's look at some basic information about Saul. Saul is the first king of Israel. After the people of Israel requested for a king, he was the first king of Israel. He was 30 years when he was a king, and he reigned for 42 years. And that is in 1 Samuel 13, verse 1. Now let's look at some other basic characteristics of basic features of Saul. His father was called Kish, and the wife Ahinoam, and that can be found in 1 Samuel 14, 50 to 51. The following are the children of Saul. The first one is Jonathan, the Ashvi, who is also called Abinadab, the Malchishua, we have the Isboset or Isbal, the Merab, those are the daughters. He has two daughters, Merab and Michal. Michal happens to be David's wife. And we can find this also from 1 Chronicles 9:39 and 1 Samuel 14:41 to 51. Okay.
Hit it hard and go down. Yeah,
so, going forward, let's look at the good aspect of Saul's kingship. Some good aspect of Saul's kingship. So Saul taking over the kingship of Israel, he fought against all the enemies of Israel on every side, especially against the Moab, against the Ammonites, against Edom, against the kings of Zubah, against the Philistines. And wherever he turned, he routed them. And he fought violently and defeated the Amalekites, delivering Israel from the hands of those who plundered them. So that was the striking verse, 1 Samuel 14:48, that Saul fought violently and defeated the Amalekites, delivering Israel from the hands of those who plundered them. Now let's look at some bad aspect of Saul's kingship. After all this, Saul disobeyed the commands of God, and therefore God rejected him as a king over Israel. God instructed Saul to go and attack Amalek, claim everything they have for God by destroying it. But God asked Saul not to spare them, but to kill men and women, infants and children, cows and sheep, camels and donkeys. Yet Saul and his army, they spared Agag. Agag happens to be the king of Amalek. So they spared Agag and the best sheep and cows, the fattened animals and lamb, and all the best property. The enemy refused to claim them for God by destroying them. But everything that was worthless and weak, the enemy did claim for God and destroy. So in this case, they were trying to say that the bad things are for God and for the good things are for them. So God rejected Saul based on his disobedience. And that was actually the beginning of his calamities. And later on, Israel having to have a battle with the Philistines. And Saul happens to kill himself during that fight against the Philistines. He killed himself because Israel were defeated. And he said he wouldn't want anybody to kill him, so he killed himself. And on the account of his death, one of his sons, named Ishbosheth, succeeded him as a king over Israel. So that is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I was asking, thank you. I was asking why can Saul spare Agag? Was there any special reason for that?
King Saul said he wanted to bring Agag and those items he picked to come and sacrifice them to the Lord. He wanted to come and sacrifice them to the Lord. So he didn't want to kill him. So he spared Agag and coupled with other things to bring them, and even wanted Samuel to come and help him sacrifice. But Samuel told him that obedience is better than sacrifice. He should have obeyed the commandment of God. Destroy everything, that is a command, and not to come and sacrifice them to the Lord.
How did Saul kill himself? Did he take DDT or he took what?
Saul fell on his own sword. He asked his servant to, because when they were defeated, the Philistines defeated Israel. And
Yeah,
Saul said,
that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Congratulations. Yeah. I gave you, I deducted some marks. Yes, thank you. We'll go to the next one. Solomon, if I want to
please, can you clarify something here for us?
Yes, please. Solomon, share the screen. Evans, share the screen. The screen is blank. Can you share the screen, Solomon? I said Solomon. Evans, share the screen for Solomon. That's Kojo. Yes. Yes, the one who wanted to ask the question. Make it bigger. Go to the yes, go there. And still make it bigger up there where you went initially. Yeah. Yes. And then still make it bigger. No, the down part, the percentage. And then undo the top, go to where you have the share, the down part, and undo the editing top. No, come down, bring it down. No, bring it down to where the 16%. No. Yeah. This side. Yeah. No, up there. You see some arrow up there, some arrow at the right. Yeah, go. No. Go to there's no. When you see, look at where the 16 is, on top of the 16, there's an arrow. Yeah, press the arrow. Very good. That's right. Now reduce your fonts a little bit. Now reduce the percentage a little bit. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. Yes, brother, ask your question quickly.
Please, let's go on.
Continue. Thank you, Solomon. Let's go.
Thank you.
King Solomon representative. Let's go.
Okay, so Solomon was the son of David and the father of Rehoboam, and he was king of Israel and Judah.
Who is David? When you finish, David will go. I think Evans wasn't there.
Yes.
That's so when you finish, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. So first of all, Solomon came to power because of because God chose him to succeed David, and that is in 1 Chronicles 22, verse 9 to 10. So when David was older, he started preparing Solomon to succeed him. And he provided everything that he needed to become king, and also to build the Lord's temple, which God said he would not allow David to build, but his son. So Solomon took over from David, his father, and David made him king. His father was David. His mother was Bathsheba. Solomon is known to have married 700 princesses and 300 concubines. In terms of his children, there are 3 children who are recorded, 1 son, Rehoboam, and 2 daughters. But then some scholars also believe that from Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 3, it seems he had a lot of children, perhaps 100, because he himself made mention of that. And also they tie it to the fact that he had so many wives. It is possible he had more than 3 children. Now, the good aspect of Solomon's kingship is that he was able to build and complete the temple of God that was given to him to build, or bestowed on him to build. And he had a record number of laborers, stone cutters, and supervisors to build the magnificent temple of God. Under his rule, he also centralized the kingdom of Israel in terms of their economic power, military power, and he also grew the kingdom to its peak under his rule. Some of the bad aspects of his rule include building a royal house for himself, which was as beautiful and magnificent as the one that he built for God. Eventually, he became very powerful and very rich, and so he got power drunk, so to say. He loved a lot of foreign women, and when he was old, these women asked him to turn away from the commands that God had given him, which is that he should not worship any other god apart from him. He eventually did that because of the many wives foreign women that he loved. The key memory verses were for the good aspects, the fact that he built, so Solomon built a temple and he completed it, from 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 14. And the bad aspects, we take it from 1 Kings 11, verse 1 to 4, which is King Solomon, however, loved many foreign women besides Pharaoh's daughter, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. They were from nations about which the Lord had told the Israelites, you must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts away or after their gods. Nevertheless, Solomon held fast to them in love. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines, and his wives led him astray. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. And this was ultimately the downfall of Solomon. So eventually the kingdom split, and his son Rehoboam took over one part of the kingdom. I'm sure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. God bless you. God bless you. At this time, Solomon. Yes. How many children did Solomon have, please?
113, Papa.
3, yes.
113, 103. 103,
That's
sorry.
a nice one. That's
Yeah.
a nice
one. 103.
So 103 children.
Yes, Papa.
Okay. So how many daughters and how many sons?
The number of boys and girls were not given, but the three were said to be, excuse me, who was the presenter again? If you could just
Yes, Tafat, Basemath, and Rehoboam.
Yeah, I think Rehoboam was the man, and then the other 2 would have been girls.
Daughters, yeah.
So 2 daughters known, 2 known daughters, and then 1 male. But the 100 we are not sure of their sex.
Okay, now 1,000 Madi. Better than Kwango. Okay, that's fine. So the critical question I'm asking, was it bad that Solomon got so many wives like that?
Yes, Papa, it was.
How?
Papa, because of that, I mean, it brought problem to Solomon because when you read the book of Solomon, you could see because of the concubines and wife, he started building.
Can you Jesse, can you check your background? It appears like your background is a bit noisy, please.
Papa, I said somebody is.
It's actually 1AO Lydia.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
Yeah. So,
thank you. All right.
Papa,
Okay. Okay.
as I was saying, yeah, because of that, he started building, I mean, a shrine or a idols to his, I mean, concubines and wife, and that also made God, I mean, reject him. So having a lot of wife, also
Yes,
ended up.
I'm sure last week we looked at that one, and I wanted that simple answer which I've given. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Okay, I am spending a bit of time on this man because they are examinable areas. So let me ask the question, please. Be prepared, all of you. Be prepared for these simple but bit intelligent questions. So let's see how it goes. Are you ready? There are 10 questions. The one to get all correct or have a bonus of 2 marks from me. So quiz on Solomon. Solomon quiz about to start. Quiz about to start. Could you please, you can stop sharing. I want to share this one. All right, I want to share this one. Thank you. But the quiz questions will not come anyways. The quiz questions are not coming though, but I will ask them. I'm sure I just want to cover the screen a little bit to this one. Okay, now quiz number one. Quiz number one. King Solomon was a son of Israel. Who was King Solomon's original father?
Papa David.
David.
Where can we find this? 2 Samuel chapter 12 times 2. So 2 Samuel chapter 12 verse 20.
14.
20 times 2 times 2. So 24. Okay. The next question, who was Solomon's mother?
Bathsheba.
Washington Road.
Wonderful. Where can we find this? Same passage.
Same passage.
So 2 Samuel 12:24. Now the next question again. I can see you are getting 1-1. Some people have gotten 1-1 marks already. Solomon's most famous building project was a temple at Jerusalem that had been planned by David. Why didn't David build the temple himself?
God forbid David from.
God said his son will build.
His hand is full of blood.
He has shed many blood. Everybody's fighting for
I want the correct statement. I want the exact statement. 1 Chronicles 22:8-10. No honorable. 1 Chronicles 22:8-10. I want the exact, because these are examinable questions. First Chronicles 22:10, 22:8-10. Can somebody please read for me?
Chronicles chapter 22, verse 8
to 10. But the word of the Lord came to me, saying, you have shed much blood and have waged great wars. You shall not build a house to my name, because you have shed so much blood before me on the earth. Behold, a son shall be born to you, who shall be a man of rest. I will give him rest from all his surrounding enemies, for his name shall be Solomon, and I will give peace and quiet to Israel in his day. He shall build a house for my name. He shall be my son, and I will be his father.
Thank
and
you.
I will
Thank
just
you.
royal in Israel
Thank you.
forever.
Thank you so much. I think the verse 8 is what I want all of you to please take a very careful look at. First Chronicles chapter 22, verse 8. The Lord did not allow him because he had been engaged in several wars and his hands were full of blood. Thank you. Now, this is another technical question, which I'm sure all of us did at our children's service. Okay. One day, 2 women came to King Solomon with a baby, each woman claiming to be the mother of the child. What did Solomon do to resolve the dispute? No, honorable. First Kings chapter 3, 16. The whole story will be there up to perhaps the end of 28. But let's see what Solomon did. I want to hear you. What did Solomon do?
Yeah, he wanted to kill the child. And the one who said the child should be killed, it means the child did not belong to him. So he gave it to the one who was crying that don't kill the child.
And what did that imply in Solomon's kingship?
Wise decision taken by Solomon.
That's right. So that is correctly done and answered by you. He ordered the baby to be cut into 2 and half be given to each of the women. One of them alluded to that fact. One said no, protested. And that showed the level of wisdom in Solomon's life. I'm going to the next question. Which personal quality was Solomon noted for? Which personal quality was Solomon noted for? Yes?
His wisdom.
Come again?
His wisdom.
His wisdom,
His wisdom.
His wisdom, and that is it. Nothing more, nothing else. And you can get this in 1 Kings 4, 29 to 34. 1 Kings 4, 29 to 34. The next question again, another famous thing about Solomon. There couldn't be any question on Solomon without these questions I'm asking you. Which famous monarch, which famous monarch, which means which famous political figure came to visit King Solomon? Which famous monarch came to visit King?
The Queen of Sheba.
The King of Sheba is correct for 110 points. And this is 1 Kings chapter 10, chapter 10, you get it there. All right. Yes. The next one is King Solomon's reign was an era of what? Was an era of what? The Lord told David, as it was beautifully read. So I expect that we will apply that knowledge here. The Lord told David, your hands are that. First Chronicles 22, especially 9 and 10. The Lord told David that his son's reign will be full of what?
Narrow peace.
I heard somebody say that narrowly. What was that? Peaceful, correct? Peaceful. And another one? I don't hear you. I don't hear, brother. I don't hear you.
Peaceful and strong nation.
I'm still looking for.
You're saying rest.
I'm looking for no honorable, no honorable. I'm looking for the key word. Peaceful is correct. There's another word. So start with P.
Prosperity.
Prosperity. Prosperity. Prosperity.
Okay.
1 Kings chapter 10, 14 and 15, you see there. 1 Kings chapter 10, 14 and 15, you see there. Okay, all right. Now, which book or which biblical or which Bible book was not written by Solomon? Or yes, okay, or which other biblical book was written by Solomon? That would be correct. Which biblical book was written by Solomon?
Ecclesiastes.
Yes. Ecclesiastes.
Songs of Solomon.
Songs of Solomon.
Songs of Solomon.
Proverbs.
And then Proverbs.
Now, let me ask you. Let me ask you another question. How many Psalms were written by Solomon, and which are these Psalms? Or again, theologically, we say that how many Psalms are believed to have been written by Solomon? Psalms. I don't say Psalms. David. Moses. And not saying this because of hatred, no, but saying that there were others who wrote, but because David wrote most of them, we casually attribute all to Solomon, all to David, right? But today, let me help all of us, and then let's get to know that Solomon authored some of the Psalms. So how many Psalms did Solomon author?
Is it 18? Is that 18 or 19? I'm not sure.
80.
No, for me, whatever you say is correct, but mention the exact Psalms.
Wow.
Yes, I know scholars are still disputing. Those are the sons of Solomon. The song.
I know Songs of Solomon. I know Ecclesiastes, which is correct. I know Proverbs. So Proverbs, Songs of Solomon, Ecclesiastes. And the onipa biya was asisi at the papa bi onimu. With the fact that Solomon, married beyond human expectations, he had some good qualities in him. He has some perfect things in him. He's a writer. Come again.
Solomon wrote 2. That is Psalm 72 and Psalm 127.
Your justification. Read. Okay. Wait. Read Psalm 72. Read the first 2 lines.
Okay.
Let's listen, please. Let's listen. And then one of you should also read Psalm 127, the first 2 lines. Let's hear the words.
Psalm 72, the first line, and it has a Psalm of Solomon. So give the king your judgment, O God, and your righteousness to them.
Today, friends, your lines are not good at all. When you're talking, I find it difficult to hear. Are you able to position yourselves very well when you're talking? Yes. So Psalm 72 has been confirmed as Solomon's. Please, again, Psalm 127. 127. You remember it because 72, then you bring 2 into the middle, then 127. Okay? All right. Next, another person to read Psalm 127, the first 2 lines, please.
Yeah. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain.
That's right. So this is the man Solomon saying that vanity upon vanity. If you don't build, if the Lord doesn't build, you can't build. My daddy wanted to build, he never built. If the Lord doesn't watch over it, you are doing it in vain. So he wrote Psalm 127. Please note it as upcoming theologians. Interestingly, most people believe that David wrote all the Psalms, but today we have been told that 2 of the Psalms were or are believed still scholars have not concluded on that. And as far as scholarship is concerned, we will still continue to debate that Psalm 72 and Psalm 127 are believed to have been written by King Solomon. All right, my last two questions, and I'm sure we are learning something from that. Thank you. What was Solomon's, okay, thank you. What was Solomon's great sin? Greatest of all the sins. In fact, also note that all sins are sin. But what was Solomon's predominant sin?
Is the idol worship.
Idol worship.
Yeah.
The idolatry. Yeah. So we have idol worship known as idolatry, and then adultery known as indulging in maybe post marital sex or something. Okay, so this is idolatry. Okay, and can be found in 1 Kings 11. Okay, last question on this wonderful King Solomon. Which of Solomon's sons succeeded him as a king of Israel?
Rehoboam.
Right. Rehoboam. And that is 1 Kings chapter 11. And now for the sake of our studies, please read 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 42 through to 43. So 1 Kings 11, chapter 11, verse 42 and 43. After that, the one that prepared for King David, please humbly prepare for us if you're here.
Kings chapter 11, verse 42 to 43, and I read. And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. Solomon slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David, his father. And
1 Kings 11:42. Is that what you're reading, please?
Yes, Papa. And his son Rehoboam reigned after him.
That's right. And his son, that's right. Thank you.
Papa, I have a Papa.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a question. I mean,
please hold on. Do we have our brother Evans here to share the screen? Are you here, Evans? Brother Evans, are you here?
But let me check on him.
Oh, wow.
Yes, please, I'm here.
Please share the screen quickly.
Okay.
Please share the screen. Yes, please ask your question while he's sharing the screen, please.
Yeah, Papa, I mean, during his presentation, he made mention about, and after the death of Solomon, I mean, the kingdom divided into two. And I'm asking, did the kingdom divided into two after the death of Solomon, or I mean,
that was I can say that was a fast conclusion. Okay, it's just like you're writing a thesis, and then just after writing your literature review, you conclude. He didn't do the methodology, so we'll forgive him for that. Okay. So most people are able to conclude based on, unless you do comparative study. If you do comparative study, you can say that yes, having done comparative study of looking at this and that, then because when Rehoboam came to power, he didn't even enjoy his seat. It was when he came that the people pleaded with him to have mercy, and he objected. That led to the division. And so anybody can start by quickly drawing conclusion that though that is very bad, that we all draw a conclusion there. Okay. Is that right?
Yes, Papa.
All right. Please continue, our dear brother Evans. You also did a good job. Yes. Thank you, our brother Kojo, for sharing. That was a great one too. Right.
Greetings to you all. So I'll be presenting on David. So David is translated beloved of God. David was a young man, a shepherd who gained fame as a musician, and later by killing the enemy champion Goliath of the Philistines. So David became the third king of the united monarchy of Israel and Judah, after Yahweh had rejected Saul as the king of the kingdom for disobedience. And we can find this in 1 Psalm 13. David took over from King Ashbosheth, the king of Israel. Ashbosheth was also called Ishbaal, the son of King Saul, after he had been stabbed and killed by Rechab and Baanah. The parents of David were Jesse. The mother of David was, actually the Bible did not make mention of the name of the mother, but when you study the Jewish tradition, she is known as Netzvet. David had 8 brothers, but he was the youngest. At the same time, he had at least 2 sisters, Zeruiah and Abigail. So David's spouses. David had 8 wives. We have Micaiah, Ahinoam, Abigail, Maacah, Hagith, Abital, Eglah, and Bathsheba. But among his wives, his favorite was Bathsheba. For children, David had many children. When you read 1 Chronicles 3, 1-6, you will get this information. So the successes of King David, kingship, in other words, the good things about David's reign. The first thing is he was able to conquer Jerusalem, so he conquered Jerusalem. Secondly, he brought the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. And 3, David also always repented and returned to God whenever he sinned. And so God called David a man after God's own heart. And 4, also to save his people from the judgment of a deadly plague, David offered to sacrifice himself and to relinquish God's covenant promise that his throne will endure forever. So I want to talk about the shortfalls of the king, David. So the first thing is, 1, David sexually exploited Bathsheba. That is, he raped Bathsheba.
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
Continue, please.
2, murder. So that is assassination of Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba. So I want us to note something here. The prophet Nathan indicted David by telling a parable in which a man representing David takes a precious sheep as Bathsheba from a poor man, Uriah. And after hearing Nathan's parable, even David blames David. So this verse is very important. The man who has done this deserves to die. That was what David told Nathan. And Nathan responds, Ataha ish. You are the man. You are the man. 3, David's son, Amnon, raped his own sister, Tamar. David was informed, but he did nothing to bring justice to the situation. 4, David ignored Joab's advice and took a national census, which was in contravention or in violation of Yahweh's command. Usually I learn best with images. So the successes and the shortfalls of David is shown or are shown in these images. Here we see David as a young man fighting Goliath. And here we see him as a musician Then here we see David. We see David peeping through the window and looking at Bathsheba, what also caused his downfall. Then we see the prophet Nathan and David. Nathan telling David, you are the man. And David has repented and he's so worried. So that is what I can present on David at the moment. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That is well presented. So friends, we thank God for what he has used our brother to give us. Please, you can put it on mute now. We're getting some feedback. Thank you. Please, those of you, all of you, put yours on mute. We're getting some feedback. If you want to talk, then you're mute. Okay, thank you. I want to ask some few questions as far as David is concerned. I also have 10 questions here. Kindly listen. Why I'm doing that is that assessment proves that if you don't ask the questions immediately, the delivery is made, it becomes a bit difficult, all right, for them to recollect. That's why I try to quickly ask you the question that you don't forget, all right? Okay, thank you so much. Let me quickly ask the questions. Question number one, the first one, you all did very well. So if you want to answer, then you'll mute, and then you can mute again, okay? Thank you for understanding us. David, the most famous of all the kings of Israel, lived around 100 BC. What occupation was he engaged in as a boy? What occupation was David?
Shepherd.
He was a shepherd.
Thank you. That's 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 19. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 19. And they said, then Saul sent messengers to Jesse and said, send me your son David, who is with the sheep. Okay, all right. This is an honorable Bible. Okay, let's continue. Which prophet secretly anointed David as king? Which prophet secretly?
Samuel.
Yeah, and then you have to explain why the word secretly was used. Why do you think secretly was used?
Because Saul was not in favor of that.
That's right. Just as Prophet Samuel wouldn't allow his children to be thrown away and kings begotten. It's obvious. Now let's see. Shortly after the anointing, David was hired to work for King Saul. What was his job?
Armor bearer.
He was to play music.
Musician.
Can you please listen to the question again? Shortly after the anointing, King David was hired to work for King Saul. What was David's role in Saul's life?
Cupbearer.
Come again.
Cupbearer.
Armor bearer.
Maybe the question.
Papa, he was a musician.
Yes. Yes. The question, not the question wouldn't appear on the screen.
Cupbearer.
I'm not having the questions. So yeah, not a cupbearer, not a cupbearer, but David was playing the harp, H-A-R-P, harp. Right. Read 1 Samuel chapter 16 quickly for us. First, we are still learning, so it's good to get it. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 14 to 23. Let's not be tired of reading the Bible. Yes, you have to always come with the Bible. You have to always come to the class with your Bible, not the honorable ones. Yes, anybody reading for me, please?
1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 14. Now the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and a harmful spirit from the Lord tormented him. And Saul's servant said to him, Behold, now a harmful spirit from the Lord is tormenting you. Let our Lord now command your servants who are before you to seek out a man who is skillful in playing the lyre, and when the harmful spirit from the Lord is upon you, he will play it, and you will be well.
Right. So thank you. That alone is enough, and that answers the question. Here's David's role in Saul's life. Please, I hope this has been confirmed. Thank you so much. Thank you. The next, the question 5. Who made several attempts on David's life to take his life? Who made several attempts on David's life to take his life?
Yeah, King Saul.
King Saul, right? King Saul. And okay, let's read the Bible. It's very important. Let's read. We are doing the monarchy. Let's read the Bible. 1 Samuel chapter 18, 1 to 11. 1 Samuel chapter 18, 1 to 11. 1 Samuel 18. Please try to come to class with your Bible, please.
1 Samuel
chapter
18.
1 Samuel 18, verses 1 to 11. As soon as he had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was knitted to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day and would not let him return to his father's house. Then Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was on him and gave it to David, and his armor, and even his sword, and his bow, and his belt. And David went out and was successful wherever Saul sent him, so that Saul set him over the men of war. And this was good in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. As they were coming home, when David returned from striking down the Philistine, the women came out of all the cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tambourines, with songs of joy, and with musical instruments. And the women sang to one another as they celebrated, Saul has struck down his thousands and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very angry, and this saying displeased him. He said, they have ascribed to David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed 1,000. And what more can he have but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day on. The next day, a harmful spirit from God rushed upon Saul, and he raved within his house while David was playing the lyre as he did day by day. Saul had a spear in his hand, and Saul hurled the spear, for he thought, I will pin David to the wall, but David invaded him twice. Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him, but had departed from Saul. So Saul removed him from his presence and made him a commander of 1,000. And he went out and came in before the Lord. And David had success in all the undertakings, for the Lord was with him. And when Saul saw that he had great success, he stood in fearful awe of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David, for he went out and came in before them. Amen.
All right, thank you. I want all of you to, again, thank you so much. I want all of us to take our Bible to 1 Samuel chapter 11 again. And take a pen, and take a marker, and let's go. There are a lot of things to be learned there. A lot of things there. 1 Samuel chapter 11. A lot of things are also very examinable items that we can all get it there. 1 Samuel chapter 11.
1 Samuel chapter 11. Verse...
Is that what you read?
No, I read the verse 18 earlier.
Okay. No, let's go to the 18. Let's go to 18. Let's go to 18. Thank you. It was 18, 1 to 11, right? was 18:1 to 11.
Yes.
Okay, now in the 18:1 to 11, we read it. If those of you come, my class and so we are quite to group. You won't be any, and who's a cousin?
We are here.
About school, not failure. Brother, you can clean your screen now. You can stop sharing now. Yes, thank you. Yes, so take your Bible, and then if you read it 1 to 18, let's identify some key things there. Yes, between the verse 2 and 3, what are we learning there? Yes, read and tell me something yourself. Pick the things for me.
Saul fell in love with David.
Saul fell in love with David. So Saul kept David.
That's his son.
And will not let him return to his father. Now, verse 3. Verse 3. Let's look at verse 3 again. Yeah? What
Jonathan
is
also loved David. They made a covenant with him.
That is what I'm looking for. Over here, Jonathan made a covenant with David. Jonathan made a covenant with David. Underline it because the Bible is for you. And what was the covenant? What was the sign of the covenant? Yeah.
Covenant of love.
It took
the cloak or the robe.
He took the robe he was wearing and gave it to.
That is what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for. Please read. Please make sure you read that and tell me what we're getting. So verse 4. Verse 4. Jonathan took off the robe. And it's so significant. He took the robe
And gave it to
David. And what again did he give to David?
His armor.
You have skipped one before the armor.
Go to David.
Tunic.
Sword.
Tunic.
Is tunic. And what is tunic?
Along with his tunic.
And what is tunic?
Tunic. Google, what is tunic?
What is tunic? Please, if your background is noisy or with a radio, you can put it off. Okay? See the near Breno, your period of years somehow, Massa. You near Bro. We make wild.
It was Papa, it was the robe and the armor. And then the sword.
Yeah,
So,
my sword.
I think the tunic is coming from Honorable Bible.
That's right. The tunic is from Honorable Bible.
Yes.
So, robe, armor, and what?
And sword.
Sword.
And sword. Okay. All right. So these were the things I wanted you to know. Okay.
So,
now,
Papa, please, why those items? And that's significant.
Yes, that is the assignment you have to go and look for. So why he gave him those items, okay? So we continue.
Robe,
now,
armor, and sword.
That's right. Now, what were the
kingship?
Come again. Come again.
I said, gave me the kingship.
All right. We going to find out nicely. Okay. The question now is
tunic means robe.
Hello. Come again.
You said
tunic means a robe.
Same as robe.
Yeah, we said armor was a tunic, sword, and belt.
Yes.
Sure. I'm going to the next question. What was the song of the women?
That
They said
Saul killed only 1,000, and then King Solomon 10,000.
David.
Sorry, Saul
10,000.
1,000 and David 10,000.
Okay. What is the meaning of that?
Meaning that
Not more than Solomon.
David was
Solomon.
Can we,
David
if
is
you want
greater
to
than
talk, can you
Saul.
say hi so that we call you? The comments are being many. We are not able to hear who is talking. Can you please alert us before you talk?
Hi, Papa, this is Kukua.
Okay, yes.
And I want to answer. It means
Go
that
ahead,
David
please.
has done more than 10 times what King Saul has done.
Okay, thank you. All right, who else? Who else? If somebody is talking, I can't hear, please. You might be on mute. I can't hear anyone else.
Papa, I think our sister has summarized everything.
That's fine.
Other people were
All
trying
right.
to say.
So take care of that portion too. Take care of that portion. Saul has slain thousands. David is tens of thousands. Take care of that one. All right. Thank you. Now, verse 10. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And it happened on the next day that the distressing spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied inside the house. Am I reading the right one?
You are.
Oh.
You are.
And he prophesied inside the house. So David played music with his hands as at other times.
So what kind of spirit, thank you, Mom, thank you. What kind of spirit came upon David, came upon Saul, according to the verse 10?
Distressing.
I see a hand. Okay, thank you. I see a hand. Papa Dufe, were you going to say something? You're on mute.
Yeah, as our sister said, a distressing spirit.
Very distressing spirit. Okay, that's fine. Any other? Okay, thank you.
Evil spirit.
Where's your face, Mama Lamote?
Evil spirit.
Ingo here, yo. It's more like I didn't. All right, that's just by the way. Again, let us. That's okay. That's okay. Again, let us look at verse 8. What was the response of Saul, when the women sang that song? Verse 8. Yes, Kukwa.
Saul was very angry.
And what did he do?
He refrained displeased with him greatly.
Okay, which Bible are you using?
Papa, NIV, Holy Bible.
Honorable.
Yeah, for the sake of your studies.
Holy Bible, Papa, Holy Bible.
But the word is holy.
For the sake of your studies, you try to keep the holiness, okay? And then you go to King James or Revised Standard or New King James, for the sake of your studies. It is alleged that most of the things have been taken out of the NIV. It's alleged.
Yes.
So for the sake of
Okay,
studies,
so
please,
let me read the King James, Papa.
Don't go. Okay, please, thank you.
And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom?
And this is a very good advice to all of us as we are going to become ministers. Never in any line give opportunity to the church members to be hailing you in the presence of your senior minister. If you want to be successful in your ministry, always give praise to your senior minister. Zongo mrantiano, omane be alaji.
So they were job cry, so a job by cry.
Edi, the amari you know, omuma David to whom pay. Unyamin kwa.
Verse 9.
It just took the grace like a David would have lost his life.
Papa, the
So
women,
never,
the women singing. Is there something that could be done?
Almost Jaman emotional. Jaman emotional.
Papa, Papa, in a situation like this, you know, we shouldn't make a way the church members, you know, will praise us, you know, in the midst of our senior members. In a situation like this, if you find yourself in that situation as a young minister, no, what should you do? And how?
When you get a chance, praise your senior minister. When you get the microphone, praise your senior minister. When you get the microphone, just praise your senior minister. If you Bible move, if I check, so whenever you mount the pulpit, you thank God, you thank your senior minister for the opportunity. Remember that where your senior minister is, you one day get to that seat, and you also get some people under you. So do unto others what you want others to do unto you.
Do unto us.
Because the Awuku-Gyampoh, you know, in the next 20 years, I'll be old. Okay? It's a no go for boy baswa. Now senior minister no I am not to her. In a microphone, Bonabaso. Now I just open.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So we move on to the next question. Thank you for bringing your faces, Madam Lomote. Your face is still.
My face is there.
Your face under quarantine.
Is there anything that
yeah, I'm
quarantined. The women singing, because if the women had not sung that song, Saul would not have been angry. Is there anything that could be done?
Yeah, he's asking us the question. Can we bring our views?
No, they are very good when it comes to praises. Women are very good. The truth is, it wasn't intentional. They didn't want to. They didn't meant to do that, you know, to displease Saul. It's like they were so much happy seeing that little boy was able to conquer Goliath. So it just came out of nowhere. They didn't know that they were stepping on toes. That's how it happens. Okay. It wasn't an intentional act.
They were doing a comparative presentation.
Yes.
Yeah. So when in there, I will bracket where we have a 10,000.
was a deeper message.
The women,
They mention Saul's name. They mention Saul's name.
The observer, they see what is going on more than the men.
Saul has slain his 1,000, David his tens of thousands. Yeah. So don't joke with this.
But Papa, the praising of David wasn't against Saul. From this perspective, they were happy that they are going ahead. That is how I see it.
Hello.
And we are also ascribing
you to class prefect. Where is your face? Class prefect. Where's your face? Where's your face? Where's your face?
Where's your face?
Papa, this is my face, Papa.
You're not talking.
Papa, can you see me?
I think I suddenly see myself.
You're not talking.
Papa, what I'm saying is this: that they are singing to praise David for what he has done. When you succeed in a situation, when you become happy, you sing. The intent of
and you compare the song with your kin. This is serious.
Yeah.
This is serious.
But then some of the songs that we sing should be out from our hymn book, if that is so.
And what is this?
Nyame amma wade. Toma was mfefwa and sese when 270. Papa, it's not in a way. That's how I see it. They were praising David. But the intent wasn't that we want to bring down Saul. Yo, Papa Martin.
Bring the hymn number again. Bring the hymn number. Bring the hymn number. 2 what? Bring the hymn again. Hymn what? What is the hymn number? I'm searching for hymn number. I don't write tree. Hymn number.
Give me 1 second. Let me.
Nyame Crawford. Yes, you.
I wrote it.
After the exam, move this off.
Yeah, I have 270 here. Christo Asaf.
270, right?
Christo Asaf.
No, not 270.
Musua.
It's not that one. It's not that one. No.
270 Christo Asaf Musa.
Yes.
I get 270. Give me just a moment. I wrote it
down. By Martyrology, I get your facts well. Yankobium. Ebetu masheshebra. Mienka mas. Go for just yanko. Bacho mienko just. Again, another
509.
509.
509.
09.
Nyame amma wo ade.
When God ordains, what God ordains is always good. What he permits is the best. My life, he ordered best for me. I shall be still before him. My God is good. He knows all things. He will be with me in all things. I will therefore leave all to him. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Is it not 508?
No, it's not 508. No. Papa, I have the word
509. Nyame amma say oma wo mfefo a ense se owure eho.
Yes.
Na eya wo yadodo. 509.
Now, you see, now listen. My soul yield not to despair. Lose not hope in pain and grief when the Lord regards you not. In a way he does for some. Be content with God alone. In him have all you need. And what do you say about that?
Thank you. Yeah. Papa, so this song goes to Saul. The victory he had was thousands.
And the victory what a very dangerous thing. Oh, any Nyamia son in war. I feel a brandy woba. A brandy, sorry, a martonio. What could 10,000? So, a good 1,000. A penny, it's a dangerous statement.
Yeah.
Open is dangerous. Me see ministry no, more than more bem. And ye is all. We to real ministry no more. Frustration pointing or two in an why you frustrated no see. Do how offended you are often. What ye? Obia Sonny how not to hold. So don't allow the members to bring you any danger between you and the catechist. Maybe we are all on catechist what now 27 years. Make a be our SMTR untra. Yame wa do wacha. Nale moti. Nike after na watchra wacha waba fresh teacher. Oba wa oni kofa be carbon mu di catechist yeni. Masa obebre. Oma wani ju hoda. Because oni microphone ansa na oba. Enti nkofo ke bibia wa yeso for no say no. Especially, please listen oh. Mube queen obi ho a or pef obi wie be ka say Melbourne. Bo o Melbourne wie be ka say be Sydney, be ka say ko New Jersey, be ka say ko New York, be ka say ko say. Uko yi sofo bi o. Ena momo wa ha no sofo ba ko na ho no. Niam ye ne me yo. Nye nu nti na mba ye. Me de me different vision. Oh, me on a different level. Hey, masa bebre. We do cause a solid man so far for you know. And can send be am boni dinda. Nya won ka ye. E be phone. Aka tell ni say waka. Oti so bi boni dia ka so say yin nti na mba. Opani me say munti asma me ka no. Ukoyi so phobia. And boni din ka sembi ada. So be boni dia ka sama se so for mbe yi no. Onyame sha no djuma power ye. Asa. Because near wo kan so for no so you on you. Or maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or adofo. Oh, sorry.
That's right.
As some of it can be sometimes some of it can not record.
Yeah.
And just take this statement. So like someone, David, yeah, catch him. David should have told the people, hey, no. I'm granting it 3 million. Nyamin go and go we. Nyamin go and go we. A software, and then, or how better a software on 10 baby, no, you be out. A sorry man. Minimum, we cause the confusion in the church.
And it's true.
Let us believe that we are coming out as new ministers to bring changes in the church. Do you fear some?
Thank you, Papa.
Jeda woni na doso. Uni ane bai wa me ni ya. Ya odi na ko. Abaya de botechi.
And one year
the bob ban. Man ye. So do it well and go. Obi from now come was say unim concentrate. Do you fear some? I'm here media. See to me and sir. We're going to get good ministers to shake the pulpit for us. Thank you. Next question. So Peter, your point on him 509 is no. You can preach this one when you go for dawn broadcast.
I was not condemning. I was just trying to see that the women were not doing as against David, but David could have also said what you are saying.
Don't think for the women.
That he should not allow
don't think for the women.
It's wrong.
No, they knew exactly what they were doing.
They
knew exactly what they were doing.
It was a question of doing.
They knew what they were doing.
Let's move.
Isn't it because he had been terrorizing them? Goliath had been terrorizing them.
But right? you don't create a problem for the newly commissioned minister.
So he had put fear in the women. So when David was able to conquer It was on purpose. Like what you end up pay your ban will be terrorizing.
Dr. Johnson, very soon, Reverend Dr. Johnson, you may be transferred from Oregon to maybe Australia because you are fresh and you have come to Australia fresh. You get more people to tell you, oh, it's good you have come, cry. When Reverend Awuku-Gyampoh was here, A, B, C, D. It's because you have come new. They'll tell you things. The same people, be 2 years with them. They'll start asking you, Papa, when are you going? The same people.
What I'm saying is in support of the fact that the women knew what they were saying.
That's right.
That's my point. That because Goliath had been terrorizing them, it had put fear in the women. So when they were singing, they knew exactly what they were saying.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's straightforward. Like,
yeah, Daddy, we have a saying. We usually say those who say what do you call it? The same people say crucify, Hosanna, then they say crucify.
Jesus Christ. Yes, river, Hosanna, yes, river. The same people in about 2 weeks crucify him.
Yeah.
So it happens everywhere. When you're a new minister and you go to a place, don't quickly go and align yourself with 2-3 people. Hey, those 2-3 people, it can cause you confusion. Be nice with everyone.
So, Papa, in this situation, Papa, in this situation, where do we place Joash and Natalia?
We'll get there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get.
I was coming from that point.
Joash was
I was
just
coming from that point.
No. Your point, I'm getting you. If it's Bible study, I would have allowed it, but because it's theology, that's why my words are in theology. Right. This is different. If it's Bible study, I would have applauded you. I would have gone. But theology, no.
Papa Matthias, thank you.
That's it. Yeah.
No, Papa, please, I want to say something if you allow me.
No, quickly, my brother.
Okay, thank you.
Where's your face?
One patch I will show.
Okay.
I show.
Okay.
One patch, one say, so young culture mukrana. You were a name be wa ye at the sessa, a nipper subine. And tea or share tamane and crana, a crabby or tie, a pano. Oba ofias SB a hwako fie medwane ensumedi na wa bejedi. So when was that? And I think your counsel is very deep. Your counsel is very deep. But I also want us to go and think about this. I think at that time, no, the people were hopeless because it's like they had asked for king and God had given them a king. And so they expected that in the time of difficulty, this king should have been there for them. And here is the case, the king himself was afraid. And so they sang that song to tell Saul that he should set up. Once you're a leader, you have to be there for us all the time. It doesn't matter the situation. And I want us to also think about that too.
No, yes. In my context, yes.
Yeah, but based on what he said, I think that if you are a leader, and I say, if you are focusing on that aspect now, a leader, if you are a leader, it's not necessarily you can do everything. So delegation also comes.
That's right.
So we also have to consider that maybe Saul couldn't do it, and he delegated his power to David to do it. So we shouldn't. So the ladies shouldn't. I mean, mention or they shouldn't do that comparison because
now I'll give this to you as an assignment. Saul has slain his thousands, David his tens of thousands. Go and theologize this, and please don't go and use your mind to write anything. Support every argument with scholarly material. Don't if I bring control. Please get me. Yeah, if I drink or to me, I think I know I drink a true beer. Momodia who said, we know, we natural. Natural. If you want to check it, go to whatever you search, make it /Google Scholar, /Google Scholar, or /academia.edu. I want you to get scholarly materials and theologize this article. Write just a page. I don't want 2, I don't want 3, no. Just a page on Saul, on 1 Samuel chapter 11, chapter 17, verse 7. Okay? Because what the women did to David would have ended David's life. I'm telling you.
Chapter that one is true.
Chapter 18, verse 7.
Straight away.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
That's why I'm using this to tell you. And I've been a second minister before, right? That by the grace of God, when I became a second minister, I was pulling 6 of thousands. If you have ever heard of Ophodia Mega All Night, I mean, for the first time in the presidency of Ghana, we were pulling 6,000 people for all night. And when it comes like that, hey, Reverend Awuku-Gyampoh, or ya deal, but I realized that my mom will quiet and may be coming. So when I go for any program, I give the platform to my senior ministers. They can minister from, people come for the all night 5 o'clock. So by 6, the room is full up already. So we start by 7. I give them the podium. They can be there. Hey, please call the second minister for me. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. They will minister by 9. They are tired. They say they are going to sleep and they will go before I come. So anytime I'm doing ministration and they are there, come up, can you please pray for this person for me? Go to my senior minister. Let him give you the anointing. So I got all the 100% support from them. But if I'm going to stand there, that's why I'm telling you that what the women did, they nearly ended David's ministry. Straight away. Straight. And in the Presbyterian church, there are ranks, but we don't see it with our eyes. There are ranks. Yeah. So once you come out, and then you get people to be hailing you like that, now will be lucky to say, what do you mean, sorry, you?
Constable.
Baza, so be lucky to say, one here, I've already some fire crowd. You didn't know about.
Aba nti sa obi no oyobi a owa abwantia na asafo no mu.
Papa no.
Asafo na mu.
Abusia, enye ene honam ni moja na enya o. We are fighting against spirits and powers. Ntina me Charles said, Emma enkrofo emmebo abodi. Ja abodi ni merate. Na unyuma be yiwa pie. Unyuma ebe yiwa pie. Unya property jinamu a fa na asema so for pedi bi sabrika mo ready so for you. Obu ho ya candidate to classic kodi so for. Ene oda wona. Who are the machine? A man computer for the watching. I'm saying, Papa, when you on Oka station, a run out some years on some and some. Oh, wow, who can't hear you? Who can't hear you? Or person 7. Minister Papa, penny here. If you will be a monsieur Papa, must say, made than say. Tell me, I mean, same factor. When you mean, I'm so a bit pajama. I feel no come. Wait, Uncle can't that. But that day, with a Casimia, one can you have a friend like that. You always make sure, say, the Yamidu Wajinano, a yet ding, or do people be now? I want to so be a penny. How would you want the person to treat you in that field? To Ms. Ramon, just use the opportunity to always give the necessary recognition to your leader, and you will go far.
Amen.
You will go very far in your ministry. When you mean, this is just by the way. And I want us to continue.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Papa.
God richly bless you for that. Okay, let's continue with our questions. I'm sure it's getting interesting, eh?
Very.
This is what I call ministry tidbits. They are very important. Ministry tidbits. And when you become a minister, fight that you start with a second minister. Fight. Fight for that position. Now, Papa, can you please place me under a senior minister? And let me be there for 2 years. And people almost say, come on, station, because you didn't go to Trinity Theological Seminary, where you spent 3 years at the seminary. You don't go anywhere for 3 years. And so right from there, when you're giving a congregation, you are still coming back with the only senior minister Biasi, 1 year, 2 years. Upia, we're different. We're different. When you get that opportunity, thank God. And also, no copy 2 years. That is where it will help you to become a powerful minister. Or more second ministers, their ministries are different. Sometimes we call a bina obi shroud our now we I feel that where we are so for the it is a mistake in and why that is a we want to penny in us. It's not penny in us, I can't make mistakes away. So you need the senior ministers to help you push you to where you want to get to. After 2 years, if you spend 30 years, you have 28 years. If you spend 30 years, you have 8 years to shine as a seasoned minister. All right.
Yeah, but Daddy, I thought that one is compulsory in the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah.
After your course, we stay under. Okay.
And this time, because we have small congregations,
okay.
If you don't request, it becomes a bit difficult. They can leave you to go.
Okay.
Even if they leave you to go, and then you know that you have a close by where you can drive there like 30 minutes for your first service at your senior ministers, and just take it upon yourself that within the first 2 years, you drive there at least once or twice a month to just sit under the feet of your senior minister. Let him minister. Let him have the communion service. Observe it. From now going, when your minister is administering the communion, observe it. When he's baptizing, yeah. Inti osofo no oye communion hwe. Fitisabre ko ya oye baptism hwe. Oshira ware so hwe. Take note. Take note. You never do one man. Yeah, in seminary.
Yeah. The practical
observation. And you get them. And you do it. Sometimes, you be now say, Papa, me say it share Zoom now, me say there. If you way, and chill, learn it, and then go and shine. Learn it. If you don't know and you ask and you are learning, you are taught, you go and shine. It's very important. I've been to several weddings that who said on your wedding, I'm pushing me. Like that. It's how to bless marriage. What you say? Different. Just say procedure. I mean, a different crowd. Different. No. How you sit under Reverend Dr. Samuel Charles Dendia? He sit under this man. He sit under Reverend Dr. Kablo Fusado. He sit under Papa JJ Kubidodu. He sit under Papa Herbert Opong. He sit under Papa Bamfo, Godfred Bamfo.
Polish.
That's right. You know, sir, these are seasoned people. And the Reverend Dr. Awuku-Gyampoh. These are seasoned people who have worked, and if you get the opportunity, that's the people in my line. So if you can also get people in your line, get them, don't joke with them, study them, and then you get to be the best of all. Okay? Let's continue.
Thank
No
you.
question again, please. Let's continue.
Okay.
Let's continue. All right.
Question number 6 or 5.
It's okay. We'll go to the next slide. It's okay. At night, next week. After David is who? Rehoboam. Dr. Yelson. Rehoboam. Rehoboam. Discussions. No. I don't know.
Let me share.
Please share your screen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you.
Okay. So we'll be looking at Rehoboam, king of Judah. So Rehoboam was born in Jerusalem in 972 BC. He was the son of Solomon. His mother was Naamah, an Ammonite. And Rehoboam was king for 17 years between 928 and 911 BC. Now, Rehoboam is believed to have had 18 wives and 60 concubines. They bore him 28 sons and 60 daughters. His wives, only 3 of them are named: Mahalat, Abihail, and Maacah. For his children, we have Joash, Shamariah, Zaham, Abijah, Attai, Ziza, and Shelomith. What was the bad? I mean, there wasn't any good aspect of Rehoboam's reign that can be specifically identified, unless you want to call him gathering his men to go to war, and God telling him not to fight his brothers as a good thing, and him listening as a good thing, then so be it. But there is nothing specifically called out as a good aspect of his kingship. However, the bad part is that as a precondition for accepting him as a king, the representatives of Israel made the demand of Rehoboam to lighten the yoke. Remember, when Solomon was king, he had heavily taxed the people because of his lifestyle. He needed money, so he had taxed the people heavily, and even enforced manual labor on them. And so they asked that he lessen the burden that his father had put upon them as a precondition for them accepting him and crowning him as king. However, Rehoboam, instead of listening to the counsel of the wise old, decided to seek the counsel of his contemporaries, and they said to him that, he should go and tell these people that he was going to be much more stern and much more tougher than what his father had done to them. And so as a result, the people of Israel replied that then what portion do they have in David? And what do they have in the inheritance of Jesse? And that's 1 Kings 12:16. And so because of that, the people departed and that's brought the separation of the 10 northern tribes, and then the 2 staying in the south, and the 2 becoming the Judah, right? And so that broke the united monarchy of Israel. That was where the breakage happened. And they rather chose Jeroboam, who had come from Egypt, as they made him the king. And Rehoboam was succeeded in Judah by his son Abijah when he passed on. Memory verse for Rehoboam is 1 Kings 12:10 to 11. And it reads, and the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thou shalt speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say to them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. And now, whereas my father did lay you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father had chastised you with whips. I will chastise you with scorpions. Okay. That's the end.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. Let me ask a few questions quickly, and then we'll be gone. That's a beautiful presentation. Thank you. Thank you. Who was Rehoboam's father, please? Who was Rehoboam's father? Yes, Solomon. Yes. All right, Solomon, thank you. Who was Rehoboam's mother? Yeah, it was clear in the presentation.
Nema.
Nama.
Yeah, Nama. Nama, so like the guns and French guns.
Okay.
Nama.
Okay.
So where did the 10 tribes of Israel declare their secession from Rehoboam's kingdom? Where? Where did they declare it? Where exactly? Yeah.
In the king's palace.
The presenter, did you see there?
I think it was in second.
Second, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
Sure.
That's correct. So that is kind of their politics, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Political.
Yeah, their political state.
Yes.
Like the breakaway. So where they had the secession from, the withdrawal, the breakaway, the separation, right? So we call that one the Shechem, right?
Yeah.
Schism, in other words, schism, right? Okay, secession. Now, who told Rehoboam and his elders not to fight against the 10 tribes of Israel? Who told Rehoboam and his elders not to fight against the 10 tribes? Yeah?
It's a prophet.
Which prophet?
Well, I think Ahijah.
Shimei. Or, yeah, or Shemaiah. Shemaiah. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, who invaded Rehoboam's kingdom and looted the palace and the temple? Yeah?
The Arabians, the Philistines.
So yeah, so what's the name? What is the name? These are powerful questions, right? Do I tell you?
Yes.
How much will you pay me? Yeah, how much will you pay? Okay, so that should be Shishak. That's the name.
Oh, she.
Yeah. Got it now?
Yeah,
Sure.
Shishak.
Shishak. So Shishak invaded Rehoboam's kingdom and looted the palace and the temple. Next question is, how many concubines did Rehoboam have? How many concubines?
60.
They are 60. Correct. Yeah, they are doing well. They are doing well. Now let's go. How many sons did Rehoboam have?
Sons.
28.
28 sons. How many daughters did Rehoboam have? Equal to the women. That's 60 daughters. The last question, how many years did Rehoboam rule? How many years did Rehoboam rule? He ruled for 17 years. He ruled for 17 years. And so thank you so much to the presenter. You did very well, and we got the import of what God wanted to give us. Thank you, and may God richly bless you. Now let's go to the next person through the presentation. Who is ready, please? Who is ready?
Yeah, Papa, I have a short presentation to make on Uzziah.
Uzziah. I didn't see your work.
I sent it to your email address.
Is it the PCG? Then maybe not the PCG. If it's a PCG,
sorry.
I would have marked. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
All right, no worry. Usually send it to the PCG so that.
Yep.
I've marked all those who sent theirs. All right, sorry.
Sorry, it went to the other email.
Yeah, that email is even full. Why am I? That I'm sending a message. I am. All right, please, you can share the screen. Yeah, please share the screen.
Okay, just bear with me. I'll open the.
Okay, open the file first before you start sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. That was a beautiful one. From Rehoboam. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yep. Go to the cap down and make it bigger. Or double click the face.
Can you see it, please?
Double click the face and make it bigger. Yes, please. You can double click the face and make it bigger.
Papa, wait a quick AO. Since I don't know Uzziah, no.
But you.
Name a Amaziah. So now I thought say they follow into meant to me and can't. So if you will permit me to do mine before, because the ban on so that it will.
Okay. Once he has shared the screen, when he finished, please you can go. Let him finish what he started sharing. Okay, so please finish this one. Please go ahead.
But can you see, please?
Yes.
It's still smaller. Yeah, it's okay. Start doing it. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Yes, please.
The monarchy, let me just go to the first.
You click on, yeah, that's right. Is that right?
Yeah, King Uzziah. The people of Judah made Uzziah king when he was 16 years old. He reigned for 52 years, and we can see this in 2 Chronicles 23, verse 3. And this was around 785 to 733 BC. Uzziah became king after his father Amaziah was killed. And again, this is found in Chronicles 26, verse 1. Uzziah's mother was Jecoliah of Jerusalem. Uzziah did what was right in the sight of God, in much the same way as his father Amaziah. And again, this is in 2 Chronicles 26, verse 4. So we can say that the fourth point there will be the good deeds of Uzziah. But point number 5 will be part of the bad deeds, at least in the sight of God. Uzziah entered the temple of the Lord to burn incense, but was prevented by 80 priests of the Lord. Now, these 80 priests, they were from Aaron's lineage. They had been consecrated to burn the incense, and Uzziah had wanted to just do this, whereas in reality, he was not supposed to have done that. And so, as a punishment for wanting to do what he was not supposed to do, God struck King Uzziah with leprosy. And that is mainly due to his pride and anger. We see this in 2 Chronicles 26, verse 19. And so that is the photo of King Uzziah stricken with leprosy. King Uzziah died a leper, and his son Jotham became king. Again, this is 2 Chronicles 26, verse 23. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. That is a quick one. Wow. Yeah, that's a quick one.
It was a very short one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's all that I'm also looking for. Yeah. So, friends, King Uzziah, who said that after the death of Uzziah, he saw the grace of God? Who said that?
Isaiah.
Why did he say that?
Isaiah, he was contemplating why a king like this, who have done so much for the city, should go through leprosy and other difficulties.
So thank you. That leads you to another beautiful question. So why was he stricken with leprosy?
Because of his anger and pride.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think there's some noise in someone's phone or someone's.
Maybe my environment here, I'll close it.
Okay, please put it on mute. Whenever you want to talk, you can put it right. And please let me ask you 10 questions. 10 questions. Let's see those who are gonna get them correct. Number 1, How old was Uzziah when he began his reign? How old was Uzziah?
Papa, he was 16 years.
It was 16 years. Wow. Isn't that amazing? So this is a quiz on King Uzziah. King Uzziah. Uzziah is double Z. So how many years?
16.
16. All those who made a presentation, keep tracking the ages of the kings in which you worked for, the kings to which you are agents. I call you agents of those kings. And we'll surely get to know why and who was the youngest after the presentation. Who was the youngest and who was the oldest? Okay, so I'm sharing it. And so King Uzziah was 16 years when he became a king. Now, let's go to the next question. The next question is, how old did King Uzziah reign for? How old? How old? He was 16 years. And so add 4 years to the 16. Can you please check your volumes and put them on mute, please? Thank you. How old did he reign for?
I think 50.
No, boss. So if you are 16 years plus 20, it's going to be what?
36.
So he reigned for 20. He reigned for 20 years. Okay.
Papa,
So
according to
Uzziah
the presentation, I think he made mention about 60 years, 50. So if we can double check from him.
No, it's 52 years.
Correct.
52 years.
52 years.
How old did King Uzziah reign for? He reigned for 52 years.
No, reign.
Reign, like being in power.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So 52 years. Thank you. It means you are listening. I'll keep putting wrong answers there and see how you can see it. How did Uzziah provide for his army? How did he provide for his army? Yes, by giving them food. Okay, please read 2 Chronicles verse 26, chapter 26, verse 14, please. 2 Chronicles 26, 14.
Second Chronicles chapter 26, verse 14. Then they are prepared for them, for the entire army, shields, spear, helmets, body armor, bows, slings to cast stones. Amen.
So that was the preparation that Uzziah made for the army. So when you see how Uzziah provided for the army, then you must know bows, slings, everything. 2 Chronicles 26, 14. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. The next question, please. How many priests did Azariah take with him to confront Uzziah? How many priests did Azariah take with him to confront Uzziah?
Well, it was 80.
And that is correct. And that is just correct. So that is 80. So 80 priests were taken by Azariah to confront Uzziah about his consecration of the offering. Now, let's continue. What happened to Uzziah when he became angry with the priest? Before. What happened to Uzziah when he became angry with the priest?
He was stricken with leprosy on his forehead.
Please go to, that's correct. Please go to Second Chronicles chapter 26, verse 19.
Second Chronicles chapter 26, verse 19.
Yes, please.
Then Uzziah became furious, and he had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was angry with the priest, leprosy broke out on his forehead before the priest in the house of the Lord, besides the incense altar.
So why was he stricken with leprosy? I've asked that question several times.
Is it because he was furious with the priest?
Yeah.
He was not supposed to do.
Yeah.
That is really dangerous. That is really dangerous, you know. I like him. I like Uzziah so much. It was unfortunate that he met that unfortunate thing. So
Papa,
what affected his forehead?
Leprosy.
Can you read the verse 19 again for us? So what?
Second Chronicles chapter 26, verse 19. Then Uzziah became furious, and he had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was angry with the priest, leprosy broke out on his forehead.
He was angry. He was angry
in the house of the Lord beside the incense altar.
Wow.
Yeah, he was angry. He was holding some incense in the hand. Why he was so angry? It increased on his forehead. The Bible in some more. In fact, before God and man, how many of you have seen this in the Bible before?
The leprosy. Oh yeah, we've read it.
It was my first time.
Yeah,
I've read this before, but
at least taking keen interest in knowing what was there. All right, let me continue. Question 7. Who was in charge of the palace in the period between Uzziah's time with the priest and his death?
Papa, Jotham.
And what's that? Is it Jotham?
no, Jotham was the successor.
Jotham. The son.
The son, yeah, his son. His son,
yes.
That's correct. His son. It's correct. That is verse 21. Verse 21. Please read for me. Verse 21.
Second Chronicles chapter 26.
Yeah, it's author yeah. Okay.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
King Uzziah was a leper until the day of his death. He dwelt in an isolated house because he was a leper. For he was cut off from the house of the Lord. Then Jotham, his son, was over the king's house, judging the people of the land.
And yes, Ebufu. The arato no so. I see unifra him fear. You know kotina baby. The jumeya ye koshemi. Eya dumo. Eya dum. Not by might, not by power. It's just by the grace.
Papa, I have a question.
Go ahead, my brother.
Is it not because of the incense that he took to the priest's house to burn? That's why maybe he was struck by the leprosy. It's like he's usurping the power of the priest.
Yes, and of course, why would he take the incense there? What was the reason? Send a buafu. The reason on here it says particularly, that's why I made him read the verse 20, 19 again and again and again and again. All right. Are you okay, my brother?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Papa, I my free time I will feel na enche bia mekɔ adwuma nti no sɛ mo bɛ tumi ama ma yɛ me deɛ ansa na ma free fia me drive a me ntumi read it.
Okay. Maybe permission from Papa Jesse. Maybe you can do that.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe I nanka just in the twice mom. Say nanka ye course according to
the man $1 no amount yeah. Right. No $1.
Okay. My brother
America they put out tip tip. And what are the class at that my bank got the tips and then tips. Sister from the man I'm come back then tips.
Force Okoto gas. Mekoto gas. Akwano mama insisa no on what in the tip. And I'm saying why also it's tip.
Okay, 15%.
Can you imagine? All right, let's continue. So that was verse 20, right? Oh, sure. So let me take this question again. I think you've number 8. Where was Uzziah buried? Oh, so sad. So sad. Where was King Uzziah buried? Verse 23. All the questions I'm asking you, 2 Chronicles 26. This is verse 23. Oh, you will know this one. He was buried in the place of the kings. In the field that belonged to the kings. So that was verse 23 of 2 Chronicles. Let's go to the next one. Which 3 of the Old Testament prophets mention King Uzziah in their opening verses? Like when you pick these 3 prophets, they mention King Uzziah in their opening verses. And all those ones can be found in chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1.
Isaiah is 1.
Isaiah.
Yes, Isaiah is correct. So 3/10. Next one. To get 6. Okay. You know, one of the prophets is my favorite. Who is he? I've said it severally. And then I even bought an article.
Hosea
is also my friend. Amos. So they are the 3 friends. Hosea, Amos, Isaiah. And all of them chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1. Can we quickly look at them? Hosea chapter 1, verse 1, Amos chapter 1, verse 1, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1.
The word of the Lord that came to Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Hosea.
Continue.
In the days of Hosea.
In the days of Hosea.
Yes, in the days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, king of Judea.
So were you saying, were you mentioning Uzziah? We didn't hear Uzziah.
Yeah, the word of the Lord that came to Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah.
Uzziah, that's what I want. Uzziah. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Amos or Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Thank you. Now, last one.
Amos chapter 1.
Verse 1.
Verse 1. The words of Amos, who was among the sheep breeders of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, before the earthquake.
That's right. So, as I already said, you can see these ones opening all of them in the verse 1, like that. So those are the answers. All these three prophets mentioned Uzziah in their opening statement. The last question for Uzziah: which three of the Old Testament prophets? I think I said that already. Okay, so one of the Gospels mentions Uzziah in the genealogy of Jesus.
Matthew.
Matthew, that's correct. Now, and what is the verse? What is the verse? So Matthew 1, 8 and 9 mentions Uzziah. Can you please read verse 8 and 9 for Matthew chapter 1,
verse 8 and 9.
Sorry, I was.
Asa begot Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat begot Joram, and Joram begot Hosea, and Hosea begot Jotham.
Uzziah, some can call it Uzziah, some can call it Uzziah. In any case, each of them is correct.
Hosea, okay.
Okay. Now, we're done with this. Next presentation, can we ask Mr. JB permission from Mr. Jesse? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Mr. Jesse, are you okay?
Papa, permission granted, sir.
All right, sir. Mr. JB, please share the screen. Yes, you also presented a nice one. You also presented one of the nice works. Thank you.
Papa, please, is it possible to read from your screen?
How much will you pay me?
How much do you want me to give you? America.
American tips. I'll come with there. Maybe near bring me one my budget better my dance. I saw say yours was shared in Google Drive. Let me go and retrieve it. You should have alerted me earlier.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, let me go and search for it. I marked it. Did you see it?
No.
Hey, because the email is not yours.
Oh, it went to my daughter.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll look for it from there. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to look for it. All right, so Kokuberima, please remember, he's owing me $2.
More than that.
$1 each.
Yes. I'm trying to share the screen. It was presented in Google Drive, so when it happens like that, it becomes a little bit of a challenge. I'm trying to see. Just give me a few seconds. I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go. Usually, let them send it through attach. Okay.
Attach.
When it's sent in this format, it becomes a bit difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you see the screen? Do you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please go ahead.
All right. People of God, my assignment was on King Joash. So, sir, can you move me to the next slide? The reign of King Joash. King Joash or Joash, it means Jehovah given. He ascended on the throne at age 7 after he was hidden from his wicked grandmother Athaliah, who usurped the throne of David. And we can see this from 2 Chronicles 24:1 following, and then 2 Kings chapter 12 verse 1 going. And the picture down there, King Joash is the one in the middle. Please, the next slide. Now, who did he succeed? King Joash succeeded Athaliah, but let us note here, he was crowned as king by the priests and the people without the consent of Athaliah. So Athaliah wasn't there when he was crowned as a king, and we all know the story that he was secretly hidden in the palace. His family, his mother is Zibiah of Beersheba. His father is King Ahaziah of Judah. He had 2 wives, according to 2 Chronicles chapter 24, verse 3. He had sons and daughters. I don't know much about the sons and daughters. The only son that I know is the one who later on became the king after him. And the picture you see there is Queen Athaliah of Judah. Please, can we move on to the next? I think I'm missing one slide. How he became a king.
In Ghana, there was one time a president who lost one of his speeches. Please don't be like that. Always take your facts.
Yes. I can't find one of the sheet. I think I put them together.
Please go to the good aspect. Thank you. Can you please continue?
Mr. JB, we are waiting.
Continue. Can you please continue with what's on the screen?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now? He did what was right before the Lord throughout the lifetime of Jehoiada the priest. 2 Chronicles 24, verse 2. This is also a memory verse. He instituted fair and just taxes. He formed good partnership with the priest, and he repaired and restored the temple of God according to its original design and glory. He listened to the elderly advice. And the picture down there is Jehoiada, the priest who raised him at the king's house. Oh no, at the priest's house. So we move on to the next slide, please. Bad aspect of the king. The king refused to listen to the advice of the elders after Jehoiada's death. He took ill advice from his contemporaries or the princes of his time. Now, he turned away from God and worshipped idols. He killed Zechariah the prophet, the son of Jehoiada, the priest who took him as his own son and brought him up. Memory verse for this is 2 Chronicles chapter 24, verse 20b to 22. That says, God, why do you transgress the commandments of the Lord so that you cannot prosper? Because you have forsaken the Lord, he also has forsaken you. So they conspired against him, and at the command of the king, they stoned him with stones in the court of the house of the Lord. Thus Joash the king did not remember the kindness which Jehoiada his father had done to him, but killed his son. As he died, he said, the Lord look on it and repay. New King James Version. Then the last slide, please. Who succeeded him? He was succeeded by his son Amaziah. And this ends the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. We found the lost donkey or the lost.
No, I think it was I was talking. I was looking for how he became king, and I think that I said earlier on that he was a crown when he was at age 7. This was the one I was looking for, the reign of King Joash.
And how long did he reign, please?
He reigned for 40 years.
40 years.
Yes. And I couldn't give any date of his reign because I have conflicting dates. Jerome put it between 837 to 800, and I also read from other sources which put him between 836 to 796 BC. So I wasn't sure, so I didn't give any time period when he was born or when he reigned. But it is assumed that he died at around age 47 years.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I heard you say that Atalia was not aware. So how many females ascended the throne of the Israel kingdom?
One,
and that is Atalia.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't present Atalia, so I don't want to bombard you so much with Atalia's issue. Okay, that's fine. Let me ask, can I ask a few questions quickly?
Yes, sir.
So I was only 7 years old when I took the throne of my nation. I lived in Judah, and my people thought I was cool. You did everything I asked without any problem until, well, later, who am I?
Joash.
I had to reprimand one of my high priests because his underlings failed to do as I had requested. Jehoiada was his name, and since he supervised the priests that served under his authority, I went to him with my problem. Who was Jehoiada's son?
Amaziah.
Zachariah.
Zachariah is correct. Zachariah is correct.
Oh, Joanna.
When Hilkiah, the priest during my reign, found the law and temple money in the fields of the neglected temple, I commanded that the law be read and the temple cleaned up. God promised me that I would not have to witness the punishment of my people while I am alive. Who am I? Okay, can you read 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 18, 19? 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 18 to 21.
Honorable Bible.
Any, please.
Okay, 2 Chronicles chapter 34, 18 going. Shaphan also told the king, Hilkiah, the priest, has given me a scroll. So Shaphan read it to the king. When the king heard what was written in the law, he tore his clothes in despair. Then he gave these orders to Hilkiah, Ahikam son of Shaphan, Akbor son of Micaiah, Shaphan the court secretary, and Asaiah the king's personal advisor. 21. Go to the temple and speak to the Lord for me and for all the remnant of Israel and Judah. Inquire about the words written in the scroll that has been found. For the Lord's great anger has been poured out on us because our ancestors have not obeyed the word of the Lord.
So
We have not been.
Who is talking here, please? Who is talking here, please?
Joash.
Yeah, Joash. Is it Josiah? Josiah. Josiah was the one talking here, please. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to this question. How old was Joiada, the high priest for one of Judah's king, when he died?
Is it 130 years?
How old? And that is correct. That's correct. Joiada, the priest for one of Judah's king, was 130 years. Correct. Can we read this? There's a powerful message there. 2 Chronicles 24, 17 to 22. There's a powerful message there. When Joiada died, King Joash changed.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 Chronicles 24, 17 going.
17.
But after Joiada's death, the leaders of Judah came and bowed before King Joash and persuaded him to listen to their advice. They decided to abandon the temple of the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and they worshiped Asherah, poles, and idols instead. Because of this sin, divine anger fell on Judah and Jerusalem. Yet the Lord sent prophets to bring them back to him. The prophet warned them, but still the people will not listen. Then the Spirit of God came upon Zechariah, son of Joiada the priest. He stood before the people and said, "This is what God says. Why do you disobey the Lord's command and keep yourself from prospering? You have abandoned the Lord, and now he has abandoned you." Then the leaders plotted to kill Zechariah, and King Joash ordered that they stone him to death in the courtyard of the Lord's temple. That was how King Joash repaid Joiada for his loyalty, by killing his son. Zechariah's last words as he died were,
Listen to the words of Zechariah. Very powerful.
May the Lord see what they are doing and avenge my death.
Please. Which verse is that?
Verse, that's the last verse of the reading.
That's 22.
Verse 22, yes.
22. Please, can I get a non-honorable one?
And then I have it on the new King James version. The one
New King James says what?
That is on the slides I gave you. It's on one of the slides. Is this one? It says that's Joash the king did not remember the kind of the Lord look on it and repays. The King James version says the Lord look on it and repay.
Yes. Nyame hwɛ deɛ moayɛ no ntia mo ka. Onyame ontia mo ka. This was a statement of the prophet
Zechariah.
Said that me papa yama mo bebrebe uhu. Ona was 7 years na papa do obeye ohene. Afi oba boye ohene me papa di 130 years na wawu. Me papa di onokre na okọ. Na se mo dane nyankopon fie e de akoye ni mo foforo na maka no kra kire mo a mo se yensi mabona minwu. Onyame ntua mo ka adwuma amaye. It's a heavy statement oh.
Yeah.
God onyame ontua mo ka. Enti kofo mo ta ka nyame ntua ka na ba gu mo. But man ka se ko kabi.
Papa na ebi nso say me na me mo no obi bo a menyo eno so
that nige I say o ma in deep and go biza ko kuberema.
Okay. Papa, is it the paternal aunt who rescued Joash? Is it not important that we know the name?
It's so powerful. I think she's also
Jehosheba. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is
the sister of his father.
Yeah, the auntie. The auntie. Okay,
yes,
start it for the I think 24 verse 1. 1 to 3, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 24. Second Chronicles 24, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Joash was 7 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem for 40 years. His mother was Zibiah from Beersheba. Joash did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight throughout the lifetime of Jehoiada the priest. Jehoiada chose 2 wives for Joash, and he had sons and daughters. Go keep reading.
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
Read the verse. Have you got to the verse 3?
Yes, I've already done with 3.
Go to verse 4.
Jehoiada. Okay, verse 4. At one point, okay, read. You want to read? Continue.
Yes,
at one point, Joash decided to repair and restore the temple of the Lord. He summoned the priests and Levites and gave them this instruction.
No, it's Second Chronicles. It's Second Chronicles. Oh, please, it's Second Chronicles, verse 22, verse 11.
Yeah, chapter 22.
But Jehosheba, the daughter of King Jehoram, took Joash, son of Ahaziah, and stole him away from among the royal princes who were about to be murdered, and put him and his nurse in a bedroom.
That's right. For almost 6 years. So what's the name again?
Jehosheba.
Jehosheba, right?
Yes. Jehosheba.
That's Second Chronicles chapter 22 divided by 2. Second Chronicles chapter 22 divided by 2. That's 22:11.
And they said he was the wife of the priest.
Yes.
the wife of you meant to
Priest
say
Joada.
Joada.
Yeah.
Okay. So they kept, because Joada wanted to keep the promise that God gave him, wanted to ensure that God's word comes to pass. Right. So okay, yeah, it's not Atalia, but I mean Joash happens to be one of the few persons I like, because he became a king at the age of 7 years, and that was amazing. Just as after the death of the priest, he didn't follow the ways of God. He didn't follow the ways of God. That's so unfortunate. All right, thank you. Thank you.
It's in his blood.
Come again.
It's in his blood.
That's right. It's in the blood. I know, right?
That's what his father did.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
Thank you too. I'm pretty sure.
I owe you.
So far, so very good. We are done. Let's quickly go to the next slide. So far, we've looked at the most important thing. Please share the screen. Share the screen, Mr. Jesse.
Mr. Jesse, okay.
Where is your face?
Oh, you can see my face.
I can see. Okay, that's fine. Yes, today you have come with your face. I saw it. I've seen it before. Yeah. Please share the screen.
All right.
Can you make it bigger?
Yes, Papa.
Please go ahead.
All right, children of God, I mean, peace be unto you all. And my name is Jesse, and I'm presenting the monarchy of Judah. And I mean, I did the king of Amaziah. So in the next 3 minutes, that's what we are going to learn, the king of Amaziah. And
so you did King Amaziah, king of Judah,
yeah,
right?
Yes, King Amaziah. Yeah.
All right. So King Amaziah, right?
So Amaziah means the strength of the Lord. Amaziah means the strength of the Lord. And he took the throne at the age of 25. He took the throne at the age of 25, and he reigned for 29 years. So he succeeded his father Joash, and he became a king after his father was assassinated. After the officials killed his father, he succeeded his father, and he became a king. And Joash and Jehoram were his parents. Joash and Jehoram. And Joash is from Judah, and Jehoram, which is his mother, is also from Jerusalem, and they were his parents. And his wife was Jechoriah. And Azariah or Uzziah was his son. So Amaziah had only one child, and that was Uzziah. So in the Bible, they didn't mention other children. They said he had only one child, and that was Uzziah. So the next. So the good aspect of his kingship, Amaziah executed the officials who had assassinated his father, and he spared their children. So the good aspect, was he assassinated the people, and they thought after that the officials, he's going to kill the officials, their children, but he spared them because of I think the Mosaic law that states a soul who commits a sin will surely die. So he didn't transfer the sins of their father to the children. So he spared the children of the people who killed his father. So that was a good thing. And he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. And you can see that one in 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 3. And the first one too, you can see from 2 Kings chapter 14, verse 5 to 6. And this point is Amaziah continued the unbroken line of the Davidic dynasty. So the Davidic dynasty, I think Papa can say something about it. I was reading it, but I couldn't understand. So I brought it here so that if somebody can explain it more, then we can have a fair idea about it. And he conquered the Edomites. He conquered the Edomites. So the bad aspect of his kingship, so Amaziah didn't destroy the pagan shrines, and the people still offered sacrifices and burned incense there. And because he didn't destroy the pagan shrines, it paved way for people also to still continue, that idol worshippers. And you can find that one in 2 Kings chapter 14, verse 4. And that was a bad aspect. And Amaziah disobeyed God by worshiping an idols. And he disobeyed God after conquering Edomites. He brought their lesser gods or their idols, and he began to worship them. And he didn't listen to the prophet who came to inform him about his wrongdoings. So he disobeyed God. And also his wrong decision of fighting with the Israelites made more of his people died, and he was captured as well. Yeah, because he thought, because he thought he can conquer the people of Israelites, because he has done one by conquering the Edomites. So he set up a war against the Israelites, and he didn't listen to the king in Israelites. So because of that, a lot of his people died, and because of that, he was captured, and that brought his reign to an end. And then the memory verse that I got is 2 Chronicles chapter 25, verse 9b, said, the Lord is able to give you much more than this. The Lord is able to give you much more than this. And Amaziah was slain at Lachish. So thank you. So Papa, that's all I got for King Amaziah.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for a good work done. Any question for him? Any question for my brother?
Yeah, under the good aspect, he mentioned that because he killed the official and spared their children. Can you explain why it's a good aspect?
Yeah, it's a good aspect because for him to spare the children. When you read the Old Testament, I think Ezekiel chapter, yes, Ezekiel, maybe chapter 8. He said, a soul who commits a sin will surely die. So, so those who killed his father, I mean, if he has eliminated them, that's a good thing back then. And for him to spare the children of, I mean, those people too, also is a good thing as well. Or was a good thing as well.
Right, so it's done very well. You asked the question. I'm not sure if the question was meant for us. You said you asked a question about the dynasty, David's dynasty, right?
Yes, Papa.
What we say that it continued the dynasty is just like it continued the order, okay? The order in which the selections were made, which is why the king Joiada, the priest Joiada preserved the life of Joash to take over the mantle because they didn't want to destroy the lineage or the dynasty in David's line. Okay, so that's basically the meaning. No person ahini no no free no person.
Oh.
Say you might eat the son. Oh, you may eat the idea with you. And your one sample and boy eat the idea. Ye di adie ye ko nyame adom o benya sofo di a no ma nso adibi ade na ye di obu ase a sofo na nya adidie nyame de ma o ye ni yi a o ma nso me bi o nso be ni yi ona boni njon aka na oni every minister who has done his work well will always encourage people to also enter into ministry because they know it is a Lord's work. All right. So we had 42 kings. How many kings were considered semi-righteous? Jehu, Jehoshaphat, and then Asa. Then look at this question. How many kings were considered righteous? I'm doing this because of what you have done so far.
3 of them, David, Hezekiah, and Joash.
Let's get somebody.
Josiah.
Okay. Let's get somebody to present any of these two for us. Hezekiah and Joash. Let's see them. Josiah. Who is presenting Hezekiah, please?
Please, it's me.
Are you ready, please?
Yes, please.
All right. Please. And who is presenting Josiah? I'm sure Josiah will be Lydia. Joash? No. Josiah will be. The one presented Josiah also did well. I don't know. Who is this person? Josiah. Check from the platform. The one who presented Josiah also did very well.
Josiah is Lydia.
Yes,
it's Lydia.
Okay. Please call her wherever she's.
Lydia is presenting Josiah.
So wherever she is, tell her we need her in class. She can present. So let's go to Hezekiah first. The one presenting Hezekiah, please do us a favor and share with us.
Papa, please, and Atalia. I'm presenting on Atalia, but
you are Atalia. Okay. Please present Atalia. I'm sorry, Kukua. Sorry about that.
So, Papa, when you are done, then I'll present. Oh.
You present once you are finished with Joash, right? Yes, what do you call it? What's the name? Joash. Present Atalia.
Okay.
Somebody's
I should go ahead, Papa.
Yes, please.
Okay, Papa.
Who is talking?
I have a challenge. Papa, please, this is Kukwa.
Kukwa, I didn't see your work.
Yes, I didn't put it in the PowerPoint. That's number one. And I've done that. So I don't know how to share it.
Somebody's making noise. Let me mute everyone. Kukwa, unmute yours. I'm getting some noise on the background. Kukwa, please unmute yours. Sorry. Yeah, unmute it. I just I'm just getting so much feedback. Please unmute yours and present it. I'll show something on the screen.
Okay, Papa.
One meeting was a casa be more honor. One meeting was a casa which and I wa Google which you want it almost san. Mammy Google. Mate, I'm saying feel background. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. I think I was trying to present and prevent the noise and it was still coming. I think, yeah, it's from your end, Auntie Kukua.
Okay.
Yeah, the noise is coming from your end.
Okay, Papa. Papa, please, is it okay? I'm sorry, I'm in the office with some colleagues. That's why I'm sorry.
Tell them I'll give them theological assignments. Kajam said, memo assignment, theological one. All right, so Queen Natalia.
Yes. And Atalia was the only woman who reigned as a queen in Israel. And she was born in Samaria to King Ahab and Jezebel of Israel. She was married to King Jehoram of Judah, and the idea was to bring some treaty between Israel and Judah at the time. So she gave birth to King Ahaziah, and who reigned in Judah for only a year, and he was killed by Jehu and his men. When Natalia heard that her son was dead, and she also killed every member of the royal family, and she became a queen. But her daughter-in-law, that is King Jehoram's daughter, hid the last born of her own son, that is her own grandson. It means that she killed even her own grandchildren to become a queen. And I just want to chip in something. When I was doing the study, I realized that because her father and her mother, that is King Ahab and Queen Jezebel, Jezebel had been killed. I think she did that for security, but she succeeded for only 7 years. She reigned for only 7 years. And she was also killed when her grandson was made the king of Judah. That's all. The good and bad aspect of her reign. In fact, she didn't do anything good. She followed her mother's steps. So she was worshiping Baal, and she was so wicked that she was able to kill her own family for power. That is by killing her son's children and the whole family, so she can be a queen. That's the end of my presentation, Papa.
Yes, she's been one of the terrible queens ever had, and scholars have really theologized on her. And it's on record that she's one of the wicked queens
Very wicked, yeah.
that came to the land of Judah. And Babesiao, but only abadayem kra onukra kunkum nipa kra the same memano nipa kunkum. And because she wanted power, she knew she was a woman, she tried to kill all the male male children in the land. It's so bad, so pathetic.
And because she had no support, she was not from Judah. She was married to Judah. She was from Israel. So she knew that when her son was not there, she was going to be eliminated. That is from my point of view. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Because at the time,
because she is
when
from that Jezebel line. Yeah, Jezebel line.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And at the time too, King Ahab, her father, had been killed. And Jezebel, her mother, has also been killed. And her brother had also been killed by the Arameans and the Edomites when they went to war with them at Ramoth Gilead. He was wounded and he died when Jehu came to ambush the family, the royal family of Israel, and kill all of them after he was anointed by Prophet Elisha.
So
I
who
think
was
she did that in defense, but that was wicked.
Yes. So who was the father?
The father of.
And who was the grandfather? Who was the grandfather of Atalia?
The Omri or
Omri.
Papa, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Like Omari.
O-M-R-I.
In Africa, it's Omari. Omari. Because there are consonants and the vowel is not there. The vowel should have been O-M-A, Omari, but they are all full of consonant with one. I can see one vowel. All right, so Omri. Yeah, so yes. Omri of Israel. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Talia. Okay, that's fine.
And he ruled their list, right?
Come again.
He ruled their list. Omri. Omari.
Omri was a grandfather. Okay. Right. Let me ask some few questions. That will be gone from there. Who was the Hebrew woman who became queen of Persia? Who was the Hebrew woman who became the queen of Persia?
Yeah, Esther.
That's Esther, correct? Yeah, I'm just jumping into something else because it's about women. So, whom did the queen of South travel to see? Solomon. The queen of South traveled to see which king?
Solomon.
Solomon, correct.
Solomon, yeah.
Who was the faithful priest during the time of Queen Atalia of Judah? Who was a faithful priest? There was a faithful priest.
Yes.
The Bible calls him faithful.
Joada.
Joada, yes.
Joada, and how old was Joada at the time of his death?
130.
130 years. And the same Joada was a priest during Joash's time.
Yes.
All right, so the next one is, which king did the queen of Sheba, which king, that is the same question that has been twisted again. Okay, let's see. Queen Vashti refused to do what the king commanded him. How was she punished? How was Queen Vashti punished? Esther chapter 1, verse 19.
Taken away from the palace.
He was overthrown.
He was thrown out of the store.
I like the word thrown out. So banished, right?
Banished, yeah.
Banished.
Now, what woman or which woman killed her grandchildren so she could rule Israel?
Atalia.
Atalia.
Ah, Babisia. Tugbeje. Oh.
Post here there. Oh, okay.
Now, Who was the queen of the Ethiopians? Who was the queen of the Ethiopians at the time that Philip met Ethiopian Enoch? When Philip met the Ethiopian Enoch, who was the queen of the Ethiopians? Acts chapter 8, verse 26 going. The answer should be in verse 27. Acts chapter 8, verse 27. Acts chapter 8, 26, 27. Can someone read for us? Every one of you is on mute.
Acts chapter 8, verse 27
and 28.
And he rose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority, under Candace, queen of Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem to worship. 28. Was returning, and sitting in his chariot, read Isaiah the prophet.
So who was a queen mother? Acts 8:28 is
Papa, I think Candace queen.
Yeah, Candace. That's correct. That's correct. Now, in Revelation, which city will be destroyed? For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. In Revelation 1, Revelation 18, from 1 going, which city will be destroyed? For she said in her heart, I set a queen, and am now widow, and I see no sorrow. Which city? Read the verse 2 of Revelation 18.
Babylon.
Babylon will fall. Babylon will fall. Right. Guys, you're doing well. Well, these are questions. I picked them randomly from some website I know, and you're doing well. You're doing very, very well. Now, who is ready for the next presentation? We can take 2 more, then we go.
Papa, if I do, can you share for me?
Papa, it's me. It's Zakaya. Yeah, I was there before the lady.
Okay, please go ahead. Please, sorry.
All right.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Sorry.
So sharing now.
Yes, please.
Please, do you have my screen?
Can you please open the document on your computer first? When you are done, now open the screen bigger. Let the screen come for you to see our faces, or for you to see the screen before you start hitting on the green to share. So you have 2 attempts. First of all, open the document. When you have opened the document, now lower it, and then come and pick the screen. See us, then you click on the green share. You've not hit the green share before. You've not hit the green share, so please try to hit the green share button.
I have it now.
Now share. I want to see you.
Okay.
I'm still waiting, my brother.
Yeah.
Any problem?
Papanti, yeko exam na PowerPoint na yeko use ana.
We know because you are doing presentation and it's recorded.
Okay.
On YouTube. No? That's it. The PowerPoint is for building your ministry.
Papa, do you have it now?
Yeah, I've seen that you want to share. You can continue. Now open the document now, please. Yes, gradually. Now go to the cup and make it bigger. No, the cup, check your right side and see the cup. Yeah, the cup that the pre-seconds are bringing it after the quiz today.
Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
All right. Good
That was
morning.
another beautiful presentation.
Thank you, Papa. Good morning, Papa, and good morning, colleagues. King Hezekiah, meaning God strengthens. He is among the three righteous kings, so he's known as the King of Righteous. He is the 13th king of Judah. He reigned for 41. Some of the researchers put it around 41. So I think by the end of this, Papa will help us to establish the exact years. And it is presented by Ben Hosea. Is Papa Donfe there? It is presented by Ben Hosea. Thank you. Now, how did...
Yes, I'm here, Ben.
Okay. How did Hezekiah come to power? He succeeded his father Ahaz. Whom did Hezekiah take over from? That is his father, King Ahaz, the family tree or his family. His father is King Ahaz. His mother is Abijah or Abia. His spouse is Hezekiah. And he has so many children, but the one who is being recognized is Manasseh or Manasseh. All about King Hezekiah could be seen in 2 Kings and Chronicles. But here, let's look at 2 Kings 18:5. He trusted God and kept his commandments and kept his command, the command of the Lord, God of Israel. Then second, that is 2 Kings chapter 18:4. Why he is attributed as a righteous king or one of the righteous is that he destroyed all the high places, the bronze snake of Moses, and he smashed the sacred stones and the cult, he cut them, that is the cult of Asherah. He destroyed them when he came to power. Why is the whole Israel has turned to idol worship? He came to destroy all of them and revert them back to the worship of God. He himself repented when he became a little wayward, when he got angry, as Papa was hammering on that point earlier on one of the presentations. So he repented, and that also led the whole Israel also changed their attitude and they followed suit. For 2 Chronicles 32:22, the Lord helped Hezekiah to defeat the Assyrian army, and with his commander, the name is there, and the Philistines too. He is considered as a very righteous king. Another thing, he repaired the temple, he purged all the adult, and reformed the priesthood. And then he also restored the Passover pilgrimage. His Second Chronicles 32:25, Hezekiah's heart was proud, as I said earlier on. He did, that is the bad aspect of his kingship. He did not respond to the kindness God showed him. Another thing, the Lord, because of that, the Lord's wrath came upon him and on Judah. A memory verse for his kingship. 2 Kings 23, verse 3. He said this, remember, O Lord, how I have walked before you faithfully and with wholehearted, devoted, and have done what is good in your eyes. This is when he fell sick and was about to die, and he prayed to God, and he made this request to God, and God added 15 more years unto his age. So this is the little that we have about King Hezekiah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yes, the first question you did ask of his position as a king, yes, was it 14 or 13? What was your question? Can you please ask for the class to help you?
No, he is the 13th king of Judah, but the number of years that he reigned, when some of the commentaries and other places put it as 40, some also place it at 41. So that's why I want us to straighten up. Should we take 40 or 41?
Then, do we have any verse in
the Bible to show?
Because
for when he reigned,
no,
the number of
the number of years he reigned. Because I think the Bible
at least you should have supported with a verse. That's why it didn't come. So that makes it we're not accepting your argument. Your argument can only be accepted if it has a point.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's take the last righteous king, and then we'll bring it to a close. Is it if you're not there, it's okay. It's Sister Rachel. Is it Sister?
So, Papa, can I stop sharing now?
Yeah, you are done. You are done.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a beautiful presentation. Yeah. So, how many people are here who have not shared theirs?
I'm here, Thomas.
I didn't get your work, my brother.
Yeah, I sent it very late today because he gave me two names. So later on, I realized that the first name he gave me wasn't the one that I was supposed to present.
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Then you should be a scholar. It means you have done a lot. Once you read, the more you read, the more you become a scholar. So that's fine. That's good. Thank you, scholar. Mama Lomoja, I didn't see your work.
Yeah, Daddy. I also saw. I finished with the first one. That is, I saw that was given Omeri. Then I realized that there's another one that I should do, which is so.
Then it means that you don't visit the page often because this has been there for.
No, I visited the first one and I saw Omeri on my name, close to my name. So that's what but later when I went there, which was too late, I saw another king that I should work on it, which is Ahaziah. So
then you have done well. It means you're a scholar. So anybody on this line again to share anything with us? Anybody?
Yeah, Papa. I have Jeroboam.
No. Like anyone who has not shared his.
Okay.
His personal one, so that we give opportunity to those ones first. All right. Papa Thomas, are you ready? I've not looked at the work. Are you ready to share? If not, then we can close.
Yeah, Papa.
Did you prepare in the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Please share it and then we close today. Thank you.
Okay.
It's almost 2 a.m. here in Australia, in Sydney. Yeah, you are doing very well. It's good. I know it's not easy, but what you are doing, you are learning a lot. You're learning a lot, and it will help you in your entire ministry.
But you are okay.
Yeah, I see you sharing. It's good. Go ahead, please. So I'm now going to give you. Have I ever given you Old Testament assignment before?
I don't think.
Yeah. So I'm not. Well, once you have done this one, I'm not going to give you Old Testament assignment. And I know you'll be able to answer all. Please go to the cup. Go to the cup and make it bigger, please.
Okay. It's now sharing.
It has shared already.
But it is
So
sharing my side.
No, don't worry. We see it. So go to the cup side and make it bigger.
Okay.
You concentrate on your slides. Concentrate on that one. Yeah. Go to that cup side and make it bigger. No, go again. No, go.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Now scroll it up and start work, please.
Okay.
Use the up and down. David, Fawin, use. Now use your up and down and do it.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Now go to the cup and make it bigger again. Just go to concentrate on the cup. Just concentrate on the cup alone. Yes. And then now present your work.
It becomes so big that okay.
Yeah, that's all you need it. If it becomes bigger, then it has become bigger to us.
But I can't see from my side.
Do you want to see your face?
Papa, the screen is gone.
The screen is gone, Papa.
It's gone from your end?
Yes.
Start sharing.
Go back to the first slide.
Yeah, start sharing again, please. It will be well. You are doing very well. It will be well gradually, okay?
Okay.
Or just start hitting the keys.
Yeah, just hit the key. That's what I'm talking about.
Still, Papa, it's not coming.
Restart.
Yeah, restart. Put it off and restart again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clear us. Once it means that you have opened another document again. So I'm going to stop yours. Okay. I'm going to stop yours. And once I stop yours, I'm going to come back again. I'm just sharing something that is not related. It doesn't relate to our work. Okay. So I'm going to put mine off. I'll put it off.
Okay.
Now start sharing go to the share button.
Share.
Yes, go to share. Concentrate on directions I'm giving you. Click on the share. You haven't clicked on the share. Is your computer honorable computer?
Yes. I click on the share and this is the word.
Yeah, I understand you. Most of the computers, you have to go back and come again. Okay. Yeah, but you seriously must do it. So you do it. Gradually to do it. Close. Okay. Leave and come back. Leave the WhatsApp. Leave the Zoom and come back.
Okay.
Leave the Zoom and come back.
Okay, I share now. But I got it.
Just go to the cup. The cup. Yes.
See this mistake.
Leave it to do it. I think that your machine has some virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not responding. It could be an update of virus.
Yeah, it will show me to update something here.
Yeah, it's a virus.
Okay.
If it is,
I have to buy a new one.
are we saved?
We're not safe. In this contest, we are not safe. The chairperson has come in because the people of New Jersey, they want to ransack us. They want to come and hijack our system.
Yeah, but it showed me that you update something here.
Not now, not now. Anything you want to update will cause a serious mayhem.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you are alone, you can start practicing the sharing to know what exactly the problem is. You didn't also send your work to the right email. So getting it is also a problem. Sometimes just read the instruction on the page before you submit your work. If it had been in the other one, I would have helped you to download it and show it for you.
But can you see now?
I think this side is okay.
This one is okay.
Yeah, friends, please, if you can see it, kindly respond to you. I'm also trying if I can also retrieve it from my end. It's a bit worrying.
Can you see?
I can see.
Yeah, once you can see, it means it's correct. I'm not on the screen, please.
And when I make it big, then it vanished.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, when I go to, anytime I go to the cap and make it big, then of the.
Yeah, it may mean that you have some animation. And if you have animation, you may have to be clicking the keys to bring them.
Or can we, another person present? We can see now.
You can see now.
Which king are you presenting?
Jehoiakim.
I'm here. Can I present mine?
The way our brother has struggled to open his working. If you joke with him.
Okay, Papa, I've opened now.
Yes, you have done well. Continue.
So Jehoiakim was the 18th and antediluted king. The antediluted means the second after Judea from 609 to 598 BC. He was the second son of King Josiah. The memory verse there is 1 Chronicles 3:15. And mother was Zebeda, the daughter of Pedia of Ramah. His birth name was Eliak. Predecessor was Jehoiada, his younger brother, and succeeded by his son Jehoiakim. His rule was short-lived as King Nebuchadnezzar laid siege against Jerusalem, and the young king, along with the queen mother and the royal officials, surrendered to Babylon. Memory verse of his bad deeds. Actually, he didn't do anything good. He shall have no one to sit on the throne of David, and his dead body shall be cast the heat of the day and the frost of the night. I will punish him, his family, and his sin for their iniquities, and his sin for their iniquities. And I will bring on them, on the inhabitant of Jerusalem, and on the men of Judah, all the doom that I have pronounced against him. But they did not hear. Jeremiah 36, 30 to 31. Family. King Jehoiakim or Jehoiakim BC 609 before Christ ruled Judah 609 to 597 BC. After 3 months of brother Jehoiazar married Nehasata, daughter of Eleanathan of Jerusalem. Jehoiakim was appointed king by Pharaoh Necho as Judah became a vassal state. Son Jehoiakim, as I said earlier, or Konya for short, took the name Jehoiakim on his succession. Bad deeds. Although he had opportunity to follow his father's Josiah's righteous example, that Jeremiah 22, 15 to 16, Jehoiakim turned to evil. Jeremiah described him as a presumptuous ruler who abused his own people. Jeremiah 22, 13 to 14, and persecuted and murdered God's servant. Jeremiah 26, 20 to 23. God instructed Jeremiah to prophecy that unless they repent, King Joachim and Jerusalem will perish. Jeremiah 36, 1 to 32. Jehoiakim commanded the officer to read aloud from the scroll. After the man read several columns, the king will cut away that part of the scroll, then contemptuously toss it into the fire, burning them. I can't see the back. The heart before him. The king continued until all the scroll was consumed in the fire that was on the heart. That is, when Jeremiah prophesied against him, he called for all the scroll that Jeremiah has prophesied. And anytime they read, he told them, anytime they read a piece, he told them, then he burned all of them. Jehoiakim persisted in his deviance and suffered the consequence, defeated by the Babylonians and dragged away in chains. He apparently died on his way or in captivity in Babylonia. But I also find out that in the I think in the case, or let me be sure, I wrote it in my because concerning his death in the book of the Kings, it was written that he lay beside his forefathers. That showed that maybe he died peacefully. But in this research, I also find that he was dragged to Babylon by the Babylonians. So I don't know which is which.
Pick the one in the Bible.
Okay.
Yes, the Bible. When you're doing theological search, what the Bible says is what rules.
Okay. So the Bible one, I wrote the text in the word.
Unless you want to go and do meanings into that, yes, of course, that is good. But take the Bible one at this level first. So when you get into deeper theology, you can go and do exegesis.
Okay. That was. I wrote it in my.
Yeah, so thank you. I also want to emphasize that if you are doing Old Testament, and because of your limited time, if you don't jump into questions and answers, it will be difficult to cover up. Because sometimes you can do the kings, you can do a particular.
Yeah, so Papa, in 2 Kings 24:6, it says, Jehoiakim died with his ancestors. So
Yeah, that is a plain language that has been used. Yes, so he died with ancestors. So it depends on what you are looking for. He died with ancestors. So if you want to know more about that, then a commentary, a recommended commentary will be ideal to know what exactly it means. Else, the same passage, when you read further, will tell you more about the death.
Okay.
Yeah, continue. Don't pick it just out of context. Continue. He died with fathers, and what happened? Please. Can you please tell us?
Yeah, it says he was laid with his forefathers.
Continue the same passage.
Okay. So it says, so let me count. Okay, once again.
I can see you are tired.
Baba, this clearly implies that he died a natural, peaceful death in his own land. However, in 2 Chronicles 36:6 and in Daniel 1:2, it is recorded that he was taken by Nebuchadnezzar to Babylon in fetters. But nothing of this is recorded in the book of the Kings. Further, according to the prophecy of Jeremiah 22:19, King Jehoiakim was to die a horrible death and be thrown like the carcass of a donkey outside the wall of Jerusalem.
Okay, thank you. We will end here, and thank you for spending time to share with us. Friends, you agree with me that the body is tired, and therefore, if we don't stop and we want to continue, people will die on the seat. Yes, we started around 10 p.m. and gone 11, 12, 1. We just about 9 minutes to enter 4 hours. And you agree that we never wasted any minute or second. It's all to our own good. Continue with that. We have about 2 or 3 presentations. We'll find time and work on that anytime we get a chance. However, I've given you assignment, and that was last year's question. Please attempt it by giving yourself ×2 of the hours. Usually you're going to spend 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 20 minutes to do it. But as you're practicing, I encourage you to search. If you don't get a Bible passage to represent the answer you are selecting, don't select. You are just not going to answer the questions, but you are going to learn. So the past questions you have, usually some people are very good. Oh, wait, no, oh, be Bible mukra and she say, so that when they turn the questions in any way, because you have read it in the Bible, you can apply it. But if you just look at, oh, is A, is B, nobody will repeat the same question as you are seeing it. They may quote the question some way, they will address the question some way, they will add some clothing to the question. So try as much as possible to read a question like, where was Paul and okay, where were they found? A question like, where were they found? On which mountain were the bodies of Saul and the three sons found? Yes, you don't just go, you have to go back and tell us that, yes, you found it maybe 1 Samuel chapter 31, verse 8 and 9. You have to see, open the Bible, read it, and that gives you a good knowledge of that. So please, I'll give you the whole of tomorrow to solve it, and please do well to get some time and be throwing the answer. If you are reading and you're not sure, ask the question on the platform, so that not necessarily we meeting here before we get to understand some few things. It's assumed that as you are doing it, anything you think is difficult, you place it on the platform, ask a friend, and then we discuss. That is why we place the platform there. Okay, so that's the first question you are solving, full-time question. I've gone through the questions. They are so lovely. They are so lovely. They are so lovely. And I'm sure once you do that, it will help us. Put the quotations there to your answer. Put every quotation there to your answer. Please go. We have about 6 minutes. Please go to the questions I've placed on the board. Pick the questions on the charts. I've placed it on the board. We have President of Ghana, Special Ministerial Training, 2019 Entrance Examination, Old Testament. Remember, you have 1 hour, 20 minutes. And this 1 hour, 20 minutes, 2 weeks time, we're going to have a quiz. We're going to have a mock. And in the mock exams, we're going to use the time that they have given us to solve a standard question. A standard question. And then you time yourself to see whether within the 1 hour, 20 minutes, you'll be able to answer 60 questions or 70 questions. And once the date is given, try your best to make sure that you are able to join us to make this happen. So check something like by 1st November, there will be a serious mock. At 1st November, I'll talk to the English, all the facilitators, the English, the maths, the NT, OT, everything, and then we'll make sure we address. Remember, you have 5 papers to write: Old Testament, New Testament. The mathematics is part of the general paper. The mathematics is part of the general paper. And so I'm sure I can see how your math teacher is taking you gradually through it. It's not only for the exams. My professor tells me, when you are learning, leave the exams in your mind. Leave it out of your mind. Leave it out and take it as if you are learning for your life. You are learning for your life. Once you do that, it helps you get it very well. Sometimes it will surprise you that as you're preparing for the exams, you were too serious than when you become a minister. Sometimes you get to know, because once you become a minister, you are too happy that you have become a minister that sometimes you even forget to do in-depth study of the Bible. That is why I tell myself that every year, September, October, November, I devote it to in-depth study of the Bible, as if I'm now going to write my entrance exams. I'm not going to write my entrance exams. Every year for the past 11 years, I do this. All right. Just a recap of what you have done. Look at the kin and all the things that they did. You've made the presentations you did are very powerful. You did very well. You should be very proud of yourself, and you should know about that. Now, quickly pick the questions on the screen. Let me just give you an update of that. If you look at the questions, you have question 1 up to 100. In the Old Testament, per the standards that we have studied over the years, there isn't going to be any essay. There isn't going to be any essay. However, talking to few of the people who have handled this course for a while, the complaint I get is that most students do not finish. Most students do not finish. At least the brilliant student is able to get to about 90. And so when they say stop work, tries to tip something that without even reading it. That is why in your search, you have to make sure that you time yourself very well. And the way you are spending time to read the Bible, I'm sure. So as you are reading, as you are solving, begin to also look at yourself and look at a key area you wish that we will spend time and go into that area. So as all of you are reading through, there will be some areas that you might think that, Papa, can we look at the creation story? Can we look at that one? Then we bring all together and be able to help ourselves. Because this one, the kinship is part, is throughout the Bible. I mean, throughout the Old Testament. Throughout the Old Testament, but very familiar stories. They are very, very familiar stories. Okay. Okay. Let me pick one question out of the blue and ask you and see what you do. In which of the prophetic books contains a call to build the house of the Lord? In which of the prophetic books contains a call to build the house of the Lord? Malachi, Nahum, Haggai, Hosea. I know somebody's looking at the number of the question, looking for the number of the question. It's question number 44. Yes. A call to rebuild the house is where? This is Haggai. This is Haggai. Haggai chapter 1, verse 2. Are you okay with that? So Haggai is a call, right? Now, again, I want you to look at it from this way. Arrange the, how many books do we have in the Old Testament?
39.
39.
We have 39 books in the New Testament. You should be able to arrange them, right? So all the books of,
in chronological order.
Yes, of the Old Testament, because sometimes they are able to ask you which one comes before what. So all the books of the Old Testament.
Yeah, question 45 is saying the same thing.
Yeah, so you need to know all the books of the Old Testament, the order in which the books were written in the Old Testament. Okay. Okay. So like when you pick it, you have Joel, Obadiah, Amos, Hosea, Isaiah, Jonah, in that you have them. But again, sometimes the dates may also overtake you, the date in which those books. So you understand, read the question, let me hear.
It said, what book comes before Malachi?
So before Malachi, what books comes?
Okay, Zechariah.
So these are basic questions that if you don't take time, they will throw you away. Because you know Malachi is the last book.
Yeah, I saw a question like that.
Yeah, that's question 45 or 43.
Yeah. No, I also saw a question distinguish between Zachariah and Zachariah.
Yes, so these are the things. So from the back of the Bible, you should know from where you go to where, from where you go to where, from where. These are things that you can easily do it on your own. Hey, my coffee. All right, any other question?
But it's not a question, it's just an advice to everyone on the line. Please do read whatever we put on the line, because as the days go by, things will be coming. So if you don't read a day, you may skip over maybe an important information. So please do visit the page all the time. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah, they be a bit too bia no here. What's around a papa no show? No, the oho. Ocean back on our quada. One yard they couldn't at the betchini assassin. Very important. Why? Joe. Okay. Baby, I did in fact, a crack run at any time what teams are that, my bread. 4 hours non-stop. Are they?
Wow.
Yeah, it is because in Yamanwa, Moyan, the Mudru pa. Just say, so the books that come, the Bible or the Ikra, mention.
Use the left lane to turn left on Plainfield Avenue.
The books of the Bible, of the Old Testament.
Turn left on Plainfield Avenue.
Hello, Papa.
Yes, please.
Whether I'm patch or cacro, but me, I'm a presenting Josanna today. A babano, me baby and patch up.
Okay, education.
You're the patch up part time on social, yes, and come here, pray.
Where's the end of I see you, my time and come here. So that time, but I need to pass. I didn't know.
I'm so sorry, colleagues.
Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Everything will be under control. Everything will be under control. Let me see. Yeah, so the 39 books. The 39 books. You have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Samuel, 2 Samuel, Kings, that's you should know, Chronicles, then from there, so Chronicles is the 14th. Then you come to the 15 to 28. 15, that is Ezra, from Ezra to Nehemiah, from Nehemiah to Esther, from Esther to Job, from Job, then you come to Psalms, from Psalms, then you come to the works of the Solomons, the Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon, then you come to the major prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, then Lamentation, then you go to Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, then you move again. So here you're dealing with the minor prophet. So from Hosea, from Hosea, you go to Joel, from Joel to Amos, Amos to Obadiah, Obadiah to Jonah, Jonah to Micah, Micah to Nahum, Nahum to Habakkuk, Habakkuk to Zephaniah, Zephaniah to Haggai, Haggai to Zechariah, Zechariah to Malachi. And so if you meet a question like which book comes after Amos? So Amos is the 30th one. So after Amos,
Obadiah.
After Amos, Obadiah. After Amos is Obadiah. After Amos is Obadiah. And which book comes before Joel? Before Joel. Remember, it is Hosea, Joel, Amos. Hosea, Amos, Joel. Hosea, Amos, Joel. Okay? Hosea, Amos, Joel. Which book comes before Jonah? Which book comes before Jonah?
Nahum.
Before Jonah.
Habakkuk.
Before Jonah.
Yes.
Obadiah.
Obadiah.
Which book comes before?
Obadiah.
Obadiah.
If you check before Jonah, then that's
yeah, before Jonah is Obadiah. Yeah.
Then that is even not in the answers.
Hey.
Papa Nehum.
No, but so bad.
Maybe the other.
Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, and Micah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that if it is just the arrangement as it is, unless maybe it's a chronological, there is a difference between the chronological, because the chronological will go with the year of writings. If it's the year of writings, then it's different. But if it's just the order, but the question is not so detailed. If you say which book comes before you now, then obviously it's over there. Okay, but in the answers, you have Amos.
Oh, depend on the answers. Yeah. Okay.
This book says which book comes before Jonah, and you have Amos, Hosea, Micah, Zechariah. Which book comes before Jonah?
Amos.
Why would you take that? It's because they never said immediately. You see, it didn't say immediately, it said before. So in the answers provided, you must know that. And please, I'm sure it's a bit sometimes because we are memorize this way, but said the TVR kamesre e haya na omode saade no eba omonim se ye yankokrafo ye wirefi enti omhebia omze mi akokra me omze mi akokra but obi nchongu board obi nchongu friends obi a oye fast nchongu platform was say ya on start nchongu free aha na yomo confusion Hosea is the 28th book. So Hosea, then we go to 29. Joel, 30. Amos, 31. Obadiah, 32. Jonah, 33. Micah, 34. Nahum, 35. Habakkuk, 36. Zephaniah, 37. Haggai, 38. Zechariah, 39. Malachi. Sa area when say yana a confuse. Are you okay, my good friends?
Yeah.
Yes. Any question again you feel is confusing?
I think we have to remember the song they taught us from children's service. Let us sing the whole Bible. Yes.
The whole Bible.
Yeah.
And you men are much there.
We want to ask for a list.
But that's it.
It was a very common song. But no, very.
Yeah, for yeah, but agroni why?
But when you are no audio enter platform, why? Children's service, no.
Yeah,
if I try to no audio, now they are talking my.
But say, questions are feeling for your questions are new. A yankee think. Oh, to when you say Bruce, yeah.
And yeah, Papa, good morning.
Yeah, 2 a.m. Yeah, and I cry or we friend one hour ago. Vejane, Papa. Maybe I did it. I dare wait for others for. Others. Yeah, so people of God, thank you. We want to close now, 4 hours and over, and we are still counting and still going. I want to say thank you. Hey, I mean, so sham plenty. My idea. Mona my idea. Maybe it will be a cockra.
Avoid radon, eh? What job
On that new washing.
Thank you. God bless you.
Give you new strength. Renew your strength for us.
Yes, new strength like New York.
God bless you.
My join your friend.
Yo.
New York, wise.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I'm looking at how I can stop the YouTube, but my phone is booting, so I'm unable to do that. I pray. Yes. So thank you. I'll try to put the YouTube off. So those of you who are just watching, this has been the North America Presbytery. We are doing what God wants us to do. Thank you for being part of us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. Thank you. All right, so Eja Peter. All right, so thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. It has been a very fruitful moment. Take your time and go through all the presentations that you have done. We'll update you on the platform. Thank you.